Hey guys, welcome back to We Watched Movie WAM Video Episode 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not, is that 7? I don't know. I'm not very good at Spanish numbers.
Maybe the 2, I drink too much.
Episode 7.
Yes, it's going to be a good time in the night, in the darkness of the lights.
Hey, Mike.
What?
Listen to this.
What?
Why was the number 10 scared of the number 7?
I don't want to fucking answer
No,
this, Jay.
answer
Just say
it. Why was the number 10 scared of the number 7?
Because of pie. Just say the terrible joke and let's move on.
Yeah, it's because number 7, 8, 9, and 10 is next.
I fucking hope you...
Shit.
I swear to Christ Almighty. That brings me new joy to make you try a new beer tonight. So we got a great show for you guys tonight.
Motherfucker sponsored by Hardee's.
It's gonna be fun. It's fine. We got a fun show for you guys tonight. Halloween Inferno, a brand new Halloween fan film. We've watched it. We've got a review for it tonight. It's gonna be fucking fantastic. Wait till you hear how great that shit is. We've got for our friend Church Jackson. Happy birthday, Church!
Happy
you son of a bitch.
Take me to church birthday.
Streets of Fire. Is it Streets of Rage or Streets of Fire?
Streets of Rage was the video game. Streets of Fire is the movie.
Streets of Fire. We've got a Revenge of the Action movie level thing for that Streets of Fire that we're going to do. We've got The Unnameable for our friend Chuck Pavic, a horror movie of darkness.
Should have been called The Unwatchable.
It's fucking crazy. We've got reviews for both of those. We've got reviews for Halloween Inferno Part we've got
Part Dix.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got a script review for the Final Destination that never was. The original Final Destination script. Flight 101, was it? That 109 maybe?
108, I don't know.
We'll get back to that in a little bit.
Something.
We've got some news stories. We've got Friday the 13th news stories. All sorts of amazing shit coming to you in your faces tonight, plus an unboxing. So hang around. It's going to be a fun time. And plus, don't forget, guys, the podcast is doing crazy fucking shit. We have a WHAM sports show on the podcast now. We have new movie commentaries that are only on the podcast now. We have the WHAM video. This shit's going to be on the podcast. Make sure you go search We Watch Movie Podcast Network. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Got porn reviews coming up soon.
All of it.
It's going to be there.
It's going to be everywhere.
You know, I thought I told you this last episode, but they are giving away premiums while this bullshit's going on. They're giving away free premiums.
I don't know what that means.
You can go on there and like uninterrupted, like you get access to like some cool premium shit, like
porn.
Yeah, like extra boobies or something.
Fantastic.
Yeah, like more of a zoom in on the areola. I don't know. I've never had a premium. It's all night.
And as usual, we're going to start with a beer tasting.
Okay.
Appreciation to Cameron and our neighbors who they left a beer here, so that's why we're going to use this one. They just left it here, so I owe you a beer, guys. But this is 312 Goose Island. It's a wheat beer. You never had a wheat beer before.
Take your ass back to Nebraska.
You never had a wheat beer before.
I'm not doing that. Wasn't it children the corn shit?
Goose Island? I don't know. I've never tried it before either.
Oh.
I know they make a good IPA. Let's see what's in the bottle. At the bottom of a bottle. I don't remember that song.
You know what? Literally, I'm getting to a point where drinking all this shit. It's like I've been to the what?
I'm gonna get a cut.
Oh. Should I keep talking? Oh yeah, that's social distancing. I don't know why you guys keep thinking that. Me and Mike literally like every Sunday do oil wrestling together, and we haven't got sick, so it's okay. What? Right. It was awkward.
Also, yeah, next week's going to be the live portion of the show where we do a little bit of the show live, so make sure you guys tune into that motherfucker. And let's see what this looks like. I'll give you half.
I'm not drinking the fucking half.
We're being safe with, everything that's going on in the world right now. It's a nice crisp. Hey, that's a Michelob Ultra color for you. You might like this.
No, not really.
This might do your insides in. It might be great.
First off, no, it's not going to.
312 Goose Island wheat.
Oh. No, dude. Oh my.
It's bright, lemony, and a bit hazy.
Oh no, it's hazy. I'm already getting hazy, dude. Like this smells like the shit they threw on the vomit in high school.
That shit was the worst, dude. They always had that sad janitor rubbing it up.
Hold on, let me get that. Oh, that's what it is.
Why did so many people throw up in high school?
No, dude,
I never threw up in high school
because I ate the food.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Go ahead.
Together. Okay, I will take
bottoms up. Been the top. Every bottle. You're nasty as fuck. I know your insides have been dead for a while, but now it's confirmed.
I'm not a fan of wheat beer, but that's delicious.
You're dead.
That tastes good. I think you're gonna like this one.
No.
I think this might be the one you like, Jay. I think you might like this one.
There's 312 options that say no.
It's like Budweiser, but it feels smarter.
Okay, now I know you're drunk.
It's good.
Dude,
I think
that
smell
like is rough.
I think you're gonna like it.
God, it smells.
Men's Warehouse.
It smells like a burnout of Fast and the Furious. Dude.
Take a big one.
Oh, dude.
You're gonna be okay. It's not bad, man. I'm telling you. This might be the one, guys. Do we have a new record? No. Damn. Just one time. Really? Oh, it's not even that strong.
It's like time travel to a bad spot.
It's not even that strong, man.
Oh, dude, it literally, I felt a piece of my soul like break off and go down.
You gotta be kidding me.
No,
it's so light.
Oh, sure, fuck, dude. I'm not kidding. Holy fuck.
What are you talking? It's crazy.
I don't like wheat in my beer.
You gotta come here and try it. I swear to God.
Tastes like goddamn cornflakes.
Cornflakes are good.
No, soggy cornflakes without the sugar.
This is just the one that
Try this.
Keisha loved to hear.
Try this, yeah. It's not that bad.
Oh.
He's losing his shit over
Your
here.
sound is always good.
Yeah.
You're all fucking sick.
Take it down, big man.
Oh, that's super good.
See?
You all are part of a
Yeah,
cult.
it's like summery though.
Fucking
Yeah, it's summery.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
It's like Michelob Ultra Summer.
What kind of summer is it? Like
Just
in the
like
Ring
a lemon
movies?
Summer.
Oh,
It's
no.
very citrusy.
Take
It's
another
super
drink
I'm
good.
not-
and in your mind pretend it's Michelob Ultra Summer Ale.
Oh, God, dude. I'm not.
Do it because I want to watch your face.
I'm not doing it anymore.
Just one more. It's gonna be okay. It's only like 4.2% alcohol. It's gonna be fine.
Oh, God, dude.
Super tasty.
Yeah, it's like the same as Michelob Ultra, man.
It tastes like soggy bullshit.
It doesn't. It's delicious.
Oh, God, dude.
It doesn't even have that much.
Yeah, it do.
smell.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you're such a bitch.
Oh, why?
It can't be that bad.
Dude, it's like caught right here.
Oh my God.
So good.
You hate beer, don't you?
I like my
Deep
beer.
down, you hate all beers.
Your beer tastes like water.
You know, like, if you left out cornflakes for like 2 days and you had the milk on it, like, and I'm not talking about like
You're
the
stuck
good
on
cornflakes.
cornflakes.
Yeah, dude, like those shitty ones, like with no sugar on it, and you just pour it in there, and it's like 2 days old, and you left out with rainwater.
Rainwater.
Oh fuck, dude. That's a no for me.
I'm shocked. I don't know. Like, I'm almost downtrodden.
what?
I don't know if we're ever going to find the beer for Jay other than Michelob Ultra. It may never fucking happen.
I'm taking that.
Don't do that. Coronavirus.
God damn, I feel like Charles C. Ray. Oh, the bell, like the power.
Pour it into another glass.
That's not going to help you.
Don't worry, you'll just get malaria.
Drink it.
You'll just get malaria. It's okay. Anyway. Dude, I really hope I can get like something that just makes your fucking stomach somersault.
I'll take it. I honestly thought you would like that. After I taste it.
I'm gonna put absinthe and fucking arsenic in it.
Oh, Asian tea. It's the March edition. St. Patrick's. What are you doing? Throwing darts? Are you Cupid? Stop your bullshit. Don't you touch my dick!
So moving right on into the fucking movie news. This is one that Jay found this week. The Justice League movie that was supposed to be that never happened.
Dude.
Justice League Mortals.
Yeah, look.
Is Mortals or Mortal?
Mortal.
Mortal.
Yeah, the coolest thing about this storyline is that, okay, so George Miller was going to do it a long time ago. I think back in 2007 is when they were going to actually release it.
When they were making the
Or they
Dark
were
Knight.
making it, yeah. And this, you're saying like, okay, so this is a $250 million project. Okay, so it was ready to go. I mean, the jets were warmed up and were ready to fly over the Atlantic. But what happened is some weird like shit like in Australia where they were going to film it with a tax rebate, and then also Christopher Nolan and
Christian Bale.
There's leftovers. It's just pieces of my soul keep getting broke. But yeah, but it was mainly Christian Bale that came out with criticism on it because he has a list. But the main thing he said was that he's
You
like,
thought of a bit.
fix my list. But the main thing he said was that he didn't think it was a good idea to make the movie because he felt like it was going to be stepping on the toes of what they were doing. At that point, Batman 2 hadn't even come out yet.
Yeah,
so
Dark
they were
Knight.
they were in the process of making. He was like, so he didn't want them stepping on the toes of that particular movie. And he's like, maybe they should just wait till Batman 3 comes out. And I was like, well, maybe you should shave your eyebrows. But that didn't happen. And so on top of that, I kind of see this from the studio's like perspective. They also had Brandon Routh had come out in 2005, I think, with Superman Returns of 2006, which flopped, but they had already had a sequel planned for it for 2009. In the meantime, they had Smallville going on with Tom Welling, which was also in its really, like, the height of its season. It was doing really well. So I think they were also nervous about the fact that, well, they were going to have the third Superman because another guy was going to play him in Justice League Mortal. And then obviously the Batman thing, where it was going to be a new Batman, Armie Hammer, that had nothing to do with the Christopher Nolan universe. It was going to be its own independent film. But I think that was a really that was a big missed opportunity, because DC would have been ahead of the game first off against Marvel, because they would have come out with a collaborative team years before Avengers came out with 2012. They would have had that, and then they would have spun off their independent stories. Yeah. And the storyline, we haven't read the actual script, but just based on the guy that's doing the documentary, or he read the script, the guy that wrote the article. The storyline was pretty dope. Like like you're talking about characters that are already. We don't have to do the origin.
Right.
We're done. And that Mike and I talk about that all the time. Like, DC has to be different. They have to do their own thing, and it's just not just DC. It's Marvel too. But like, you don't have to retell fucking Spider-Man Uncle Ben's story 100 different times, or Batman's fucking parents being murdered, or Superman coming from Krypton.
That was my favorite part when you hear about the retread of the script. Yeah. And again, this isn't new news necessarily. It's just kind of coming out because they're working on the documentary.
And the pics are being released,
and we've never talked about it before, but. Yeah, like the most fascinating thing I found about it, for one, is George Miller, who's done some amazing things.
Mad Max Fury Road.
But what I find fascinating about it is apparently the script just takes off, and all these superheroes have been superheroes for years. Yeah. They don't placate to the audience. They don't do anything. They're full on Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter's in it. Yeah. Common. This is the one thing I don't like about it, is that Common is John Stewart's Green Lantern. Personally, I'm not a fan of Common's.
I didn't really know who he was.
Yeah, he was in Smoking Aces. He was the one that was like all super serious and stuff.
Are you fucking serious? No,
I don't know. I hate Common as Green Lantern, John Stewart. But no, the fact that they jumped right in and they were all full on, and this was the Justice League, I felt that was really smart, and it was something that we could use as fans of superhero movies today. And again, the fact that this would have been adjacent to what was going on with the Nolanverse, they were afraid it would fuck people up with that.
I think they'd been fine. I think that people would be like, oh, I got a different option to go see, like, the Justice League movie. I don't think people would have. I think you need to give people credit. Like, they're smart enough to realize, like, it's not that Batman, like, that's its own thing, and then this is like the actual DC, because Iron Man had come out in 2007, so I think people would have been smart enough to figure it out. Like, you just got to give them more credit than that. But also, I thought the fucking storyline for the Justice League Mortal was great. Like, it was kind of like the shitty animated movie, and I agree with the writer of this article. The Doom Files or whatever,
Batman's plan, like, because everybody knows, like, if you follow it, Batman has a plan,
Doom Patrol,
to kill every superhero if they go rogue. So he has that plan, and that's always been one of the most fascinating things about the universe with DCEU. But yeah, he had this plan, and he gets hacked. Yeah. Batman gets hacked
by Jay Baruchel, you son of a bitch. Yeah, Sorcerer's Apprentice and everything.
That's the one that Jay Baruchel is the bad guy.
You know what? But who'd they cast as Lex Luthor?
I know, I get it.
So it's not. I mean, the goddamn guy that watches Superman's tights and talks shit about you on Facebook. That's who. But no, also.
But they hack him, and then that's how they're gonna kill all these superheroes, which is a great fucking storyline for a Justice League movie.
And I love the idea that the way that the story is set up is that these heroes have worked together. They know each other, but they don't have a team. But they've been established for a few years down the line. I like that, and then it's not until John Jones or Martian Manhunter is having issues catching on fire and shit, as you do when you're listening to Katy Perry.
Or Incubus's Pardon Me.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever you're into, Katy Perry or Incubus.
Flames.
But they go to, to see what's going on to help him, and that's when they kind of like team up and take on the guy that hacked Batman's files. They get pissed off at Batman. Batman's like, well, it's not my fault, you're assholes, and I don't trust you.
I'm me.
But they all eventually, they team up and they get things done. What's really cool about it is they said the POV of the story, like who you're like centered on, the everyday man, is Barry Allen, who is going to be played by Adam Brody.
And
I think
from the OC.
And I looked at it and I'm like, that actually works for it. It does. He could do the job pretty well. So he's doing it and that's your everyday man. That's how you're going through the movie. He's got a giant part in it. But they said that everybody gets appropriate screen time, so it's not just him, but. you get at the very beginning of the movie, they say that you start off with a funeral and you don't know until the end who that funeral is. And the big shocker here is it's Barry Allen's funeral, because in order to stop the bad guy in the film, he sacrifices himself, merges with the Speed Force, and is gone. Then Wally West, who's going to be played by fucking Anton Yelchin, which is great too.
Fantastic.
Would take over the mantle as the Flash. They said that the story was tight, but they almost said it was too clean in a lot of ways. But I would be fine with that. Like, and that, you know what, that would have been great for them, because what you'd have is you'd have dark crust and light crust, because you'd have the Nolan universe, which is very dark and enigmatic, and it's very like kind of apocalyptic in some ways, as far as how they tell the storylines, like just how people don't really trust one another, especially The Dark Knight. Then you would have more of a lighthearted take, which they said it kind of felt like the Justice League cartoon. In a lot of it was
which
like
is awesome in my opinion.
And that was one of the Justice League Unlimited, I think it was called, and I was like, yeah, but then that would be perfect contrasting, that you would have those two different things that people could go and look at. And then eventually they said at the very end of the movie they all go out and to fight the big star thing that they got together and originally in the original comic books in 1960. Dude, there were so many, and there was also like, they said that it was loaded with fucking Easter eggs, like so much so that the Marvel people would be like, hey, you want to take a step back here? There might be too many. Like it numerous times mentioned Scarecrow, Solomon Grundy, fucking Joker, Penguin, Riddler, like all this stuff was mentioned multiple times, and then also the fact that not John Jones, the Green Lantern, oh my god,
Jonathan Stewart.
John Stewart, yeah, John Stewart it's not John Stewart.
It's John Stewart, I think.
He does a talk show.
I know, but I think it's the same guy.
Is it really?
It's the same name, yeah.
He turned black. No, I don't remember. Black? I don't remember the other Green Lantern, but I think it is John Stewart. But he's building a monument to Hal Jordan, the original Green Lantern, which I think was fucking cool, because people would ask, where's Hal Jordan? Like, he's the original Green Lantern. They even said that Aquaman would have an aqua hand, so he had like the blue. Dude, there was so much potential there. And again, it was a $250 million budget that they had, and it was in pre-production. It had costume design, it had like sets built, and it was getting ready to go, and everybody was really excited about it, and you had George fucking Miller on it.
I think it's crazy that they had Armie Hammer as Batman, because for so long now, every single time there's a Batman project since then, everybody's always mentioning Armie Hammer.
Yeah, he was,
and he was one of the Winklevoss twins in The Social Network. He played the Lone Ranger. He has a Batman-esque stature about him. But they had the cast. There's pictures of the cast hanging out together. Yeah, this was a legit thing that was going to happen. It was. I find it fucking wild that it was going to come out during the production of The Dark Knight. Yeah. Now, it had, like you said, had they done that at that time, it could have changed the entire future of the DC universe, and it got knocked down because of some crazy Australian tax credits.
It was that, and then when they did the interview with George Miller, he said the whole thing was weird, like how it all happened. With the rebate, and then the whole thing with the studio being nervous about releasing the new Superman. There'd be 3 versions of him now. Because they were the Brandon Routh one had happened. Then they were going to release a new one, and then they were going to do a sequel for Superman Returns back in 09.
Yeah.
So people, they would
have been so far ahead of the curve,
and they would have been through with it. And the idea, the fact that this was going to spin out into a new shared universe, and they were going to start doing the individual movies, like, man, fucking do that. Like, that would have been great. And the fact that you went ahead and skipped all the fucking, because that's what the guy that wrote the article, he was talking about in the script. He's like, there's not a lot of self-doubting and introspective moments in it or anything like that. Like, they're all established heroes. They're not like doubting themselves.
Fucking deal.
Yeah, they're not doubting themselves anymore. There's none of that. It's just that they are who they are, and they're fucking kicking ass, and they're ready to take down a star-faced guy in the sky. And that's what that was in the comic book.
Wheels in the sky keep on turning.
Yeah, they do. But also, so that would have been great, and I think they really missed the opportunity. And they asked George Miller, they said, would you ever be open to the idea of maybe doing it again? He's like, he's always going to be a DC guy. He loves DC, and if there was maybe a script that was original or something that came up on his desk, that he would definitely be interested to take a look at it. Unfortunately, this movie's never going to get made, most likely, ever. But it's really interesting to see the set pics. Like, they've started releasing some of the actual designs.
I'll show you guys right here.
It looks really fucking cool. I love, you can't really see him that well, the Batman, but Armie Hammer said he freaked out. They said that, there's a video of him somewhere freaking out about the actual costume because it's got all these utility and gadgets on it. Because Batman was hurt in the movie. Like, he wore all this extra padding to help him because I think that they said that he'd probably been in the game longer than the other heroes. Like, he was the old kind of like veteran at it.
Reminds me of the Dark Knight Rises when he built that thing when he was like kick the wall and shit.
Whooping that ass. Cool. Like, you think a broken back stops me, bitch? No, I lift all the time. But no, yeah, it was great. And then also, the only thing that I think they said was kind of strange was that Barry Allen was like the the comedic relief, and he said Wally West is kind of the comedic relief, so they kind of get lost. You know, you don't really separate them that well.
Yeah.
But they said there's a lot of drama with Barry Allen dying. And you also get to see finally, you know, Iris West, which was great. Dude, I mean, it would have been fucking phenomenal. And I don't know about the guy that plays Superman. I never heard of him before. I don't know if he would have been a great
What's
Superman.
interesting about that, though, like, I didn't either, but apparently at some point in the script, Superman gets mind controlled, like Hawkeye does in Avengers, basically. And they have to deal with that going on top of everything else, which would have been fucking fascinating to see. I would have loved to see this movie doing it. And again, this isn't new news. Like, this has been out for a while, but there is a little bit of new stuff going on with these guys that are trying to make this documentary.
Hopefully that works.
Yeah, they're trying to get this documentary made. And it's so cool to see like the low levels of that, because if you go to these guys' Instagram, and we'll put all the links we can down below, but they're like, the guy who made the cowl for Batman, like they told him like, you're never allowed to show anybody this. So you imagine these people who are working on this set and they're building this movie, and you make the cowl for Batman, and it's like the proudest work that you have. And then they go, movie's not happening, you're never allowed to share that again. But because of this documentary that's out there, that's on this guy's Instagram, that's so fucking cool.
Sharing is
and
caring.
I fully support it, man. That's awesome. I wish the movie would have got made, but at least people are going to know that the work that got put behind it almost getting made.
Hopefully it comes out in the same style that the Superman, that movie that never got made with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
When they start showing that with Kevin Smith being interviewed, and you actually saw like set photos and video of Nicolas Cage as Superman, which actually, if you watch the video, it doesn't look that bad. Like the stock photos, like the photos, it looks like shit. It looks like, what the fuck? You go back to Con Air. But when you see it, when he's moving around in it, it's like, and he will admit though, it would have been a crazy fucking...
Plus, they wanted to put the giant fucking mechanical spider from
dumb,
Wild Wild West in it and shit like that. There's parts that this one makes way more, especially with George Miller. Look what he went on to do with Mad Max instead.
Dude, I mean,
like this could have been. It's wild, dude. This could have changed the entire course of the DC universe. And they could have gotten to Marvel before fucking Marvel.
That's what I'm saying. I think they would have had a leg up, and they would have been doing really well right now if they had done that. Especially if this script had gone through and been made in George Miller's vision. Dude, who the fuck knows? I mean, we might be sitting here now talking about how well DC started out, and Marvel might be the people trying to catch up. Like, we don't know. But but that's what Warner Brothers does, man. They always put their finger up their butt and they try to lick it. They never fucking take time to be like, you know what, I shouldn't do that. I need to, antibacterial soap.
It's an amazing fucking article, and we'll actually link to the article down below so that if you guys want to get caught up on it too. Was it Den of Geek? I think it was the Den of Geek article. I'm pretty sure, which I love that fucking
Den of Geek,
website.
and the guy, I can't remember his name, the one that's putting together.
Put his Instagram down below.
The documentary. Go get him the support, man, because I really want to see that actual happen. Like, I would love to see the full story for like 2 hours. And also, can we get a fucking script? Can we read the motherfucker?
I want to see it. I think it might be out there. If we get the script, we'll definitely do a script recap like we're going to do tonight with the Final Destination 1. We're going to try to get that script and do it. But yeah, that's it. Again, it's not new news, but it's pretty fun to fucking talk about.
And not that, Michael. What are you doing? They don't want to be pretending that they're some kind of... What? Slapping arms? Michael, you keep doing that, you're gonna blow out your hole. And I am not taking you back to the proctologist.
Okay, so on to more moving news for your creature tacos.
You guys are fucking gluttons for this movie news shit, and I love you for it.
Dudes and dudettes of the world, if you guys have looked for a Friday the 13th Blu-ray collection, it's hard to fucking find. Now, they have them for good deals on Amazon for like the DVDs and shit like that, but everybody knows that the Friday the 13th Blu-ray collection, the official one with that fucking nice steel book shit, it's almost impossible to find.
The price is killer.
It's like $300 or some shit to try to find it. But this news came out, and shout out to our brothers from Slash and Cast, because they were some of the people that broke the news.
Sweet up.
Make sure you guys subscribe to them, because if you like what we do, you'll love what they do as well. They're fucking awesome.
Good guys, and they're very gentle lovers.
But they help break this news. But word on the street is for the whatever anniversary of Friday the 13th.
40th anniversry, Mike.
40th? God
40th.
damn, we're
You're
fucking
old
as shit.
I know, we're both
even older.
By 1 year.
Motherfucker, you're crispy.
What are you then? Fucking mini?
Semi-crispy?
Mid-crisp. You're a mid-crisp.
But word on the street is there is a new fucking huge Quinto Ocho Friday the 13th collection that's going to be coming out. And
the way you said it is like it's on the street.
It's on the street.
People are just selling it.
It's going to be soon. But not only are they going to have, there's word of Thom Matthews doing a commentary for one of the movies, all these new special features that are going to be coming out for it. And the lawsuit doesn't stop it either, because even Shelley himself from Friday the 13th Part 3 tweeted out, like, the lawsuit's only encompassing further shit. like all the old shit, they can still do what they want to with it. So they're going to be releasing a brand new box set for Friday the 13th, and it's going to have brand new special features, including some commentaries. And the director of one of the worst Friday the 13th entries, Jason Goes to Hell, Adam Marcus, says that this is going to be the first all-time uncut, full balls out.
Yeah, he was really excited about that. I was like, so you can get your fucking shitty movie in 1080p? Wow. No, hey, look,
it's gonna be unrated.
Unrated bullshit. But no, look, and the thing is, if you're a fan of Jason Goes to Hell, that's great. And and the article's telling the truth. It was really hard to find that on Blu-ray, like that particular, movie
never existed before.
Jason Goes to Hell, yeah, well, it was
the unrated cut, though.
The unrated, yeah. And then, but if you wanted to get the Blu-ray version of it, it was like fucking like $1 million or some shit, and a blowjob behind Speedway to get it.
Yeah.
But now it's going to be available in this 40th anniversary pack that's going to be coming out pretty soon. For the 40th anniversary. It's really interesting and it's cool, and I do like the fact that it's not going to have any legal entanglements that's going to stop it from being released to the fans.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, it always feels like, I know that's true, but it also feels like it's kind of like high wire walking, because it feels like you're trying to like drink as much alcohol as you can before your dad gets home. Like before your dad catches you and you're having a party. He's like, look, we got 2 hours. Let's drink as fucking much as we have this Canadian Mist as we had. Then we'll fill it up with water. That really happened.
That's true though.
But anyway, it's still great news.
Positive Friday the 13th news. We'll take it. We'll take it in this world of the Corona. But that's some good news that's going on for you Friday the 13th fans out there. Another piece. Take this how you want to. Okay, so if you watched our last WWAM video episode 6. We argued heavily about whether or not Halloween Kills was going to release on VOD or be in theaters, or what was going to happen with that.
I feel like Jason Blum was in my side in this.
I don't know. Let's read it, motherfucker.
I feel like he was in my side.
I don't think that'll ever happen, but this is very interesting. We had and go back and check that out in the last video, but we had a deep argument about whether or not it's a good idea for movies to go straight to VOD when it includes the bigger movies and shit like that. But here's what Jason Blum said. He said, I think it's not realistic to think all the studios are going to wait 4 months before they can put out a movie at home. Mm-hmm. They just can't compete. They're going to have to compete with Amazon and Netflix and Apple in a different way. There's going to be shifts. The consumer is going to be more used to staying at home. Something is going to give. There has to be something that's going to happen post-corona. The movie business will look different after the coronavirus.
I agree with that completely, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Like, you've already seen a shit, and actually Blumhouse was the first ones to release The Hunt and The Invisible Man on VOD, and so they took the first steps to do this, to make this a reality that's going to happen. I think the post-corona Sharona virus, after that's gone and done, you're gonna, like he said, you're gonna have a very, he later says this specifically, but it's going to be a very small time frame for a lot of movies. Like, they're not going to wait the 4-month period anymore. Like, you might see a movie come out and then it'll be 2 weeks and then it'll be available to watch on demand, because what's going to happen is people are used now, after this all is said and done, to being safe and comfortable in their own homes and watching a film. And what was interesting about this article that I read, he was actually interviewed by Ben Shapiro, and what Ben Shapiro was asking about, because it's a political pundit, but he was asking about The Hunt, but other than that, he said, what about the horror movie genre? And what he was saying specifically was, like, people like to go see horror movies together in a crowd because that's the whole appeal of it. It's like, and this is what Ben Shapiro was saying. He was like, it's not the same thing if someone has to pause the movie at the scary part, go to the bathroom, come back, because it takes them out of the film. I mean, I like that part. I like subtitles. But I get what he was saying, and I think what Jason Blum is technically saying, he's like everything is going to change. Like, this thing is going to have long-lasting impact for Hollywood and these studios. And also, I don't know if this is actually 100% true or not, so I'm not going to go ahead and say that, but that stimulus package that we're all going to get, Hollywood's not getting bailed out. Like, they're not getting a cent of that. Like, it's all these giant corporations and businesses, small businesses, but Hollywood itself is not getting it. So there's this, what's going on in these studios' minds, they're thinking like, fuck, we got to make some money fast, bro. What are we gonna do, bro? They're contacting Pauly Shore. I don't know, but I think the worst mistake they made, and it's my opinion, I'm just saying, it's not about Jason Blum. Worst mistake, I would not have pushed Wonder Woman 84 out. I would have released the motherfucker on VOD. I really would have.
This is where you and I vehemently disagree, because I think, you can't start.
I've never Venmo'd anybody.
You can't start doing that, man, because again, number one, the one thing that we can talk in circles and we say all this shit. How are you going to combat Okay, it's nice. Okay, it's nice to sit at home and turn on a movie. Like, oh, I would love to watch Wonder Woman 1984 at home, especially with all this going on. I would much rather watch it at home rather than have to wait another year to see what happens with the coronavirus. But what you have to remember is the fact that once that starts happening, like, we are putting the future of being able to go to the movies to watch movies in extreme danger. Like, I know that it's nice to sit at home and watch a movie and not have to deal with the guy chewing popcorn 2 feet behind you, or not have to worry about the coronavirus or whatever. But you have to remember, what about VHS? What about, like, not VHS, but what about movie rental stores? How bad do we miss going to the movie rental store, the Blockbuster? Like, we bitch about it all the time. You and I have talked about it before.
Yeah.
If we ever get to a place where we have just an exorbitant amount of money and we're rich, the one thing we're going to do is we're going to open up a movie rental store, and we're going to lose money on it because we can, just to keep that aesthetic alive.
I'll make money because I'm going to have a porn section.
And shout out to Family Video, because they're one of the only, they keep it going, man. It's so cool. It was so nice to take my kids to a Family Video and show them how things used to be done. But everybody wants the quick and easy thing real fast. But I'm telling you, when movie theaters are gone, we're all going to be sad, and we're going to miss them, we're going to complain about them. We do not want movie theaters to go away.
I don't want them to go away, and I don't think they ever will really go away, even if this like new phase happens. I don't think they'll die.
They were already hurting before this.
I think that Jason Blum is just saying, though, you're not going to have, like, the window of opportunity is not going to be 4 months anymore, because people aren't going to wait. And here's my other issue. I'm just going to say what my other issue is, and even after this thing is said and done, like, everything is back to normal, you know, it's under control. Hopefully there's some medicine out there or whatever that can help with it. I just think it's going to be a long time. Honestly, I really do. And it may be never. Maybe it'll never happen again. That people are not going to feel comfortable going to a theater in large crowds with people, and somebody starting to fucking cough or sneeze, because it's going to be like a PTSD fucking thing for them.
Well, that all depends on where we're at.
Well, it does, but I mean, I don't know, because it might always be that thing in the back of somebody's mind, you know, like the Aurora shootings. A lot of people were scared to fucking go to the theaters after that, and it took a long time to recover from that kind of fear. This might be the same thing. And now here's the thing. If you're going to release a giant movie, like a blockbuster, summer blockbuster movie, and normally you would get people packed around the lines to come in and be full, but people are still scared and they're still in their homes, you only going to get 30 people. The studios would lose fucking asses over it.
Here's the answer, and what he says in this next article that I'm going to read to you guys, actually, it agrees and disagrees with both of us, but it actually changes my perspective on it. My original idea was do not release Halloween Kills straight to VOD.
Yeah.
Because, and the one thing that nobody's answering right now is how you're going to deal with piracy. Because when it comes to a smaller franchise, and I know Halloween's not smaller in most eyes, but when you compare it to superhero movies like Wonder Woman, it is smaller.
Yeah.
We talked about The Conjuring. The Conjuring makes so much more money than the Halloween franchise does. For us, this is it's a property that we care about. We need it to live, because the fact of the matter is that, and this is not, we don't worry about this happening, it's not going to happen, but if Halloween had come out in 2018 and people didn't pay to go see it in the movie theaters, we were never going to get
it was
a Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
And it was so much to the fact that they wrote the movie, they had the movie set as a trilogy, and were afraid to announce that, because if it fails, we're never going to get the sequels. They changed the script, they changed everything, because they weren't sure themselves how good it was going to do at the box office.
Yeah.
So if a movie like Halloween Kills goes straight to VOD, and it's one of the first big movies to go straight to VOD, because just of the time frame that we're looking at, and it's the first one to take a 50% or like a huge fucking hit because of pirating, then you might not ever see Halloween Ends. It might kill that fucking franchise in its tracks, because studios aren't smart enough to see that this is one of the first ones to go.
I mean, it's possible, but I'm not pessimistic enough to feel like
I'm not gonna risk it.
I know, but I don't think it'll stop it. Like, dude, piracy's been around forever, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And you know, the VOD, the HD, and you were saying all that shit. I was like, what about the DOT? What about the
Piracy's
VOD?
not been around in an age of new release, high-profile movies going straight to VOD.
I know, but you know, it would be a hurdle for them to overcome, but they would probably put something in effect. I don't know. Like, this was all discussed in the last episode, so I don't want to revisit what we did as far as rediscuss it. But at the same time, I don't think it would stop it. I think that there would be something in place that they would still make their money. Piracy's always going to be something. Like, even now, when you have movies in theaters, they pirate the fuck out of things.
But again, it's not HD copies. There is no system.
But there are people that don't care about that. Like, there are people that literally will watch a goddamn shitty thing that somebody shot out of a potato because it's free.
But
I mean, so that's,
you're talking huge numbers in difference. But when you play the percentages on that, there's a huge bunch of people.
But there was piracy for like a big giant movie like Dr. Sleep. It was out on fucking, pirated.
But
and
not-
but it doesn't. I mean, the fact is, people watched it, and people still watched it. And it had a ton of fucking links. The thing is, I don't think it would stop the movie industry. And I think what Jason Blum was saying, I think that what we're going to have is it's going to be a transformative moment after this.
Well,
so we'll go into.
And here's where this changes my opinion. What he says next is it changes my opinion on the whole idea, because I think there's a middle ground to be had here. I don't think you can go straight to VOD no matter what. I don't think you can do that at all. But what he says is really interesting. He says, I don't think theaters are ever going to go away. The collective experience of going to a theater and taking in a movie, I think that's going to be around for a long time. I think there'll be less movies in theaters. There'll be less of a selection, or I should say there'll be many fewer movies in theaters with the window. And I think there will be many more movies in theaters, but they only last a week or two.
Yeah.
So what he's saying there is, if you have a movie that, like, maybe some of these movies that go straight to VOD right now that are worthy, and we've talked about that, they would be worthy of being in movie theaters, but they're not tied to a classic IP, they're not a sequel or whatever. So for them to exist, they have to go straight to VOD. What he's saying is, like, those movies will go to theaters as well as movies like Halloween Kills or the bigger movies that you know. But instead of lasting for months there, they go there for 2 weeks, so that the biggest crowds, like you and me, would be there. We would go to the theater to see Halloween Kills in the theater. Maybe it only lasts in theaters for 2 weeks and then it goes to VOD, but the theaters still get their money for that opening week, that opening second week, and then you could go straight to VOD instead of waiting 4 months like we've been doing. That platform makes total sense to me.
Yeah, and it's possible that might be the reality afterwards. And Jason Blum's in the movie industry, so he would know. But I think that they are strongly considering. I'm just saying this. I'm reading between the lines. They're looking at VOD straight on, like with Halloween Kills. I'm telling you, it just feels that way.
No way.
I'm telling you, dude, because they were the first ones that released their movies, The Invisible Man, which is based on a very, very popular.
Invisible Man was in theaters for weeks before.
I know that, but it still came out on VOD way ahead of schedule, and then The Hunt had just come out.
Ahead of schedule. That's not what I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
So,
if they release Halloween Kills in theaters for 2 weeks and then go to VOD, that's one thing.
Let me get to my
VOD.
point. So my point is, though, that he's probably strongly considering it. Like Blumhouse, they want to make their money. They want to figure out a way what the landscape's going to look like after this thing is over. It's going to be a very risky proposition. They're not getting a bailout. Okay, Hollywood's going to go, they're going to fucking be, with no money.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, again, that's speculation, but it's possible. And I mean, there's a lot of, sources that you can probably go and find and articles about it. But either way, if they don't get any kind of money or stimulus package at all, and it's Hollywood on their own, and they didn't make any fucking money at all. This has never happened in their entire fucking span of Hollywood, where they've made zero money in theaters, ever. A lot of studios are going to look at this and they're like, well, Netflix are putting out giant fucking production movies. HBO's been doing it for years. Amazon's in on it now. Apple is coming in strong. They're like, can we make a killer on with this VOD idea rather than do the theater thing? And if it's yes, if it's overwhelmingly we got to make money now, it's possible. I don't think. If this thing is still going on after October, I don't feel like they're going to push it back. I think that they're going to want to do it. Yes, Wonder Woman 1984, as far as a cinematic experience, like a cinematic movie, a blockbuster is way bigger than Halloween Kills. I'm not talking about how obviously we love Halloween. It's bigger in our eyes. But as far as how much money that movie's going to make, probably $1 billion, pushing it back and seeing what happens in 2021, that's probably a smart idea for them. Halloween Kills, where they might bring in a good giant amount of change on it, and they can maybe, if they possibly could get that in October still, because people would still be, if they were still locked in and they were like, oh, October is a good month for it, let's release it on VOD. And even if theaters were open, I'm just saying, if theaters were still open, I think it would be a very limited run. How Jay and Silent Bob did with the reboot.
If theaters are open, there's no reason not
fully open. If it was but if they open the theaters up and people still aren't going because they're still nervous about it because the shit's still getting cleaned up and they're not sure, and because there's a lot of fear and speculation and conjecture out there about where we're going to be at and what's going on. But even if some people just, you don't want to get it, you don't want to get sick, you don't want to get that and have to worry about other things. So they would be I want to avoid it. And a movie like that where we would expect it to be fucking packed opening night with a bunch of people there with their Michael Myers shit on and trying to stab titties. It's not going to be that. There may be 6 or 7 people in the theater.
Here's the thing: the way that Halloween sticks out against all of it. And Wonder Woman, all of it. The way that Halloween sticks out is there's a reason they want to release it in October.
Yeah.
This is one of those few movies, and probably maybe even the only movie that specifically needs to release at that time. It needs to release in October.
Right.
So if theaters are open in October, and we're past this, and God willing, I hope we are, they need to release it in October. So, and again, we talked about this last video, but I think if they don't release it this October, Halloween Kills will be pushed a full year back to the next October, also giving them time to film Halloween Ends with all the restrictions on filming going on to push that another year. So I think they'll push both films back another year. I don't think there's any way in shit fuck that it goes straight to VOD.
I don't know, man.
But we'll see.
I never thought that I would never thought I'd be in the day where they release like fucking cinematic movies that are still in theaters on VOD.
But I will say this. But honestly, though, like what he's saying though goes exactly with what I was saying with like Invisible Man, Bloodshot, The Hunt. Those movies had a week or two in theaters.
Yeah.
So to release them on VOD is not that fucking weird. It's changed. It's new. It's different. Before they had like a 6-week thing or whatever the rule was, but they had a week or two in theaters. And that's kind of what Blum is saying right now. And I think that's what he's going to try to push the industry towards is like, let's release movies in theaters for 2 weeks and start taking VOD movies that wouldn't have released in theaters at all. So you'll have more movies in theaters at a time, but they'll only last for 2-week runs, and then they'll go straight to VOD. So if you want to see it 2 weeks early, like we will, we'll go to the theater and see it, and then 2 weeks later it'll be on VOD, which is a huge change for the industry. That's fine. That's the thing I didn't think about when we talked about this before, and I think that's a smart way to do it. As long as you have the chance for a week or two, if you want to see the movie in theaters, if you want to experience it in theaters, and you want to have that experience, you have the chance to do that. I think that's the only way to keep theater chains alive and keep that experience alive, but also move into the future with releasing shit on VOD. So I like what he said there a lot.
Jay, like I said, he knows what he's talking about. I feel like he wasn't talking out of his side cheek.
More so than anybody.
Yeah. But I got this feeling, man. I don't know. Like, again, they were the first ones to start doing this. Like they're really considering looking. They were looking deeply into this, and then they just released that new movie. I don't know what it was. Some cartoon bullshit movie. I didn't even watch it. Onward. Strictly to VOD
with the Disney Plus platform.
But it was a theater movie, and it released only on. It was VOD with the Disney platform Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
That's another thing. And so other studios are starting to fall in line, and they're looking at this, and they're like, if it makes money and it's doing well, they're like, why not keep doing it? I don't know. I'm just saying Jason Blum is smart, and he knows what he's doing, and he has a great company, and he's done really well with the Halloween franchise. I think he's going to make the best decision possible for the franchise moving forward. I think that we'll see what happens in the end, but hopefully that his idea of the future will go into effect, and it'll be something like that. We're not going to have the old theater experience back, guys. Like, I mean, that's just, to be honest, like, it's probably never going to, it won't happen for years to come.
But I think, dude, I think that's the best possible outcome for all this. I think the idea that, like, okay, the big releases won't last for 2 months like they used to. Even the big releases will only be there for 2 weeks, but when you give theaters and movie makers that option to take these movies that would have went straight to VOD, like everything goes to theaters now, where some stuff didn't go to theaters before. Everything goes to theaters now, but it's only there for 2 weeks. And then, like, so you replace those 2 weeks worth of movies with 2 weeks worth of movies, some of them which wouldn't have been in the theaters at all, like especially during awards time. Mm-hmm. How many movies during awards time, like limited theaters or whatever? Let's take everything, put it in theaters for 2 weeks, and then you got a constant revolving doors of movies that are playing in theaters, and then everything goes to VOD. And then the hardcores, you have that option to go. And even, I don't even care if they raise the fucking prices for movie theaters.
Well, I do. Fuck that. It's already expensive enough.
If that's what it takes to keep that alive, dude, how much, like, you're telling me right now you wouldn't pay a couple extra dollars to rent a movie if you could just have the experience of going, for instance, that's one way video rental stores could have stayed alive. If they'd have just broke that barrier for 2 weeks, like, okay, 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, when the movie's out of theaters, and then for 2 weeks you can rent it before it goes on the streaming device, before it goes to Redbox. You have a 2 week period, so you can either wait the 2 weeks and you can Redbox it, or you can watch it on TV or stream it, or you can go ahead and rent the movie or buy it for 2 weeks. That little period right there, that probably would have kept Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, that whole dream, would have kept it alive, because that 2 weeks there for hardcore moviegoers, they would have went there and they would have done it.
Actually, the Blockbuster went out because they missed the streaming thing. The Blockbuster,
they fucked up.
Well, Blockbuster was going to be, if they said they should have got into the streaming service way earlier and make a Blockbuster thing, and they would have survived.
But I'm saying, if it was like throughout the whole industry, if the agreement was when the movie leaves theaters, there's a 2 week 2-week barrier where it's only allowed to be watched through physical media, through rental stores, before it goes to streaming and Redbox, it would have kept the video rental industry alive. And that might be how they keep movie theaters alive.
I don't want to be Debbie Downer in the fucking gutter sucking dick, but at the same time, you got to imagine what the exclusivity rights on that would have cost them. They would never been able to afford it. These movie studios,
they all get money out.
Well, yeah, but movie studios like, fuck you. I'm not going to let you have physical copies of this and keep it 2 weeks before I can make more money on the streaming service and reach more people.
As long as they get their percentages, what do they give a fuck?
But Blockbuster would never been able to afford it. Like, it would have been a massive amount of money that they couldn't afford. The problem with Blockbuster is, and Blockbuster specifically, I can't remember. I watched that documentary on, there was on YouTube or something about the dying platform of physical media. But Blockbuster was featured specifically, and they said that the reason why they died was because Blockbuster did not get with the times. They did not understand that Netflix was going to be a fucking juggernaut.
Specifically as a company, though. But I'm just saying, like, as an industry, though. As an industry, they could keep that alive.
But they did not understand that streaming was the wave of the future, and what you're doing now is you're having people that want shit now. I want it now, and they wanted to have it in the access of their home without having to leave and order a pizza and just chill and watch the streaming service.
I see what you're saying, dude. I'm not saying get rid of it. I'm saying cut down the legal red tape, cut down the time of it. So before, when a movie would come out, you'd have to wait 6 months for it to come on rental, right? And then another 6 months to a year before it came on TV, back in the olden times. But if you just, instead of getting rid of the industry, if you just cut down the red tape at the time limit, so the movie comes out in theaters, it's in theaters for 2 weeks, then you get 2 weeks where you can stream it for $15, and then you get 2 weeks where you can rent it for $6, and then it's available. Like, just cut down that. And I think that's what Blum's saying. He's like, let's still release it in theaters, but just cut the time down.
What I was disagreeing with is the fact that I don't think Blockbuster would have survived doing that model anyway, just because it would have been too much money, and the fact that nobody would have. They were like, no, I want to. If the streaming service is available, and I get it for $5. Plus, Netflix at the time was doing physical media. You could rent it. You could literally get it mailed to your house if you didn't have internet.
I'm saying I'm not saying that wouldn't have been available.
Yeah.
I'm saying you would, instead of making them wait 6 months, because they fought against that 6 months or whatever it was, and they made it available now, which killed the industry. But if they would have given the video rental industry, the physical media industry, 2 weeks where when the movie leaves theaters, you have 2 weeks to sell it in your stores before it's available anywhere else. And they would have, I don't know how that would have worked out, but if they would have worked that deal out, we could still have video rental stores today.
And I wish that they, were owned by Bill Gates and had that much access to money, because that would have been great. I would have loved it if they had made a deal like that. Unfortunately, either way, I don't want the movie theaters to die. I don't think anybody in their right mind wants the movie theater to die. Even the younger generations that haven't grown up with the Blockbusters and the Hollywood videos and the other rental stores, and then their entire childhood is centered around movie theaters and going out there with your friends and all that good shit. And like, I remember drive-ins. Like, drive-ins were fucking fun. I wouldn't have seen goddamn Lion King at a drive-in.
Batman Begins.
They were cool as shit. They were awesome because you get like 2 features, get some popcorn, get some Twizzlers, get a hot dog in there, suck a girl's boob, whatever you wanted to do, whatever you were into at the time. But it sucks that it's gone. I don't think that the next generation of fans want movie theaters to go. Like, I don't think anybody really wants that to happen. It is easier access to have it available to you at your fingertips, on your phone, on your HD TV or your fucking 4K TV, and that's always going to be something that they have to fight against, because again, instant fucking gratification is what a lot of people want now. They want instant access to Google. They want instant access to this.
But that pendulum is also swinging to where people want nostalgia and they want retro stuff.
And that's why. But what's happening? But that's, again, you can keep, like, there's movie theaters now that they only show old stuff. They don't show new stuff. So it's still nostalgic for people that want to go into the theater and experience the theater. They can still go do that.
I don't know if they can survive on that.
I think what the problem is, I think it's not just the facts that the movie theaters themselves have got to figure out a fucking way to get their shit together, because I don't think charging people more money and having to pay a goddamn Trump ransom to go and get some fucking food and a drink and go in to see a movie and pay like $80.
That's how they stay alive, though. I mean, the concession stands is how movie theaters stay alive. I'm just saying, like, I agree with you. I'm just saying, look, come to an agreement, cut down the time limit. Like, let's keep movie theaters alive, but cut down the time limit at which they're allowed to hold that ransom on those movies, and then everybody can get their little bit.
Either way, but you know what? Jason Blum's a fucking smart guy, and it was a great interview. I didn't watch it.
He opened my eyes.
It was on Ben Shapiro's. I think he's on the Daily Wire. I don't know if there's an actual video of the interview. I'd love to watch it, but either way, you can read it yourself. Draw your own conclusions. But that's what we have to say on it.
In the darkness, in the night of light.
And don't worry, we're not mad at you. I love love I swear to God, the last episode I was reading comments like, they fucking hate it. I almost watched a friendship die. It's like, me and Mike have hated each other a lot harder than this. All right?
We fight over nachos.
I'm talking about like me and Mike almost got to a fist fight over fucking pogs and slammers back in the day. This was nothing.
Covering himself in some kind of Crisco or KY jelly, I don't know which, and rubs them on his nipples. He breaks a goddamn keep. You what?
Onto the reviews.
Ready for action?
Of the
Hit it, son.
The video, I mean, not the podcast. It's going to be on podcast too. But yeah, Halloween Inferno, guys. This is going to come out later this week, but we've got our early first look at Halloween Inferno Part 2. If you
Halloween
guys...
Inferno does sound like a place that 50-year-olds could go party. Like, hey, we got a Halloween Inferno for all you fucking 80s guys.
Yeah, come to Payless.
Okay, let's do it.
No, but if you guys remember, we did Halloween Inferno, the first part. We did a reaction to it, and it was fucking cool as shit.
Insane.
It was tied right into Halloween 2000. We cut your cuts.
I will take your nuts and wear them.
The Halloween 2018 storyline, and it was dope as shit. It was really good. Guys, the first thing we have to tell you about the part 2 of this is they stepped their fucking game up. It is so fucking good, man.
It's like they traded and got LeBron James. I mean, what you do, dog?
It's insane.
What you do, dog? You already had a loaded team, dog. Lakers.
The way that they weave this tale, like, all I'm gonna say, like, we don't want to give any spoilers away, but they do it with the fucking utmost care and smart satisfaction in your loins of the night.
I don't even know how that guy walks around with balls that big. I mean, you would literally have to have a baby basket to walk around with balls that big, because that guy, he takes a great formula that he did with Halloween Inferno Part 1, and he's mixing it in with Halloween the Greatness of 2018, and he puts it together in an amazing polished film like he did with Halloween Inferno Part 2, and it looks so good, and the acting is really well done, and the story is really, really awesome. And then there are scenes in it, and I don't want to give away the scenes.
Don't do it.
I don't want to do. I want to give it to you.
Don't you fucking do it. Let the people decide.
Bring me your soul. No, I really want to, but I can't. There's a couple of scenes specifically that stand out that involve, for me, Michael Myers, and they do it so well, and it looks so fucking fantastic.
It's gonna blow your fucking mind.
It's gonna make you have to poop your pants, and that's always that's always a risk we have to take. But it's just so like magnetic. Like it really pulls you in when you see that. Like for me, like visually it's stunning, but there's certain moments in films, like certain visuals that you see, and it really takes it to another level and goes all the way up to Hershey Mountain and all the way out your butt. And they do a great job. This guy, he deserves all you respect, dog.
Man.
Put the respect down.
Listen, the way
if I say dog one more fucking time, I'm gonna call Randy from American Idol and apologize.
The way they take this little pocket and they tell this their own nuanced version of the story, Halloween fans are gonna you guys are gonna fucking freak.
You know what?
It's so good, man.
It's like when they made Bagel Bites. Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime. It's like that. You're like, fuck, this is the greatest thing ever. I can have pizza whenever I want it. Fuck yes, you've invented something great. I thought electricity was great,
Dude,
but Bagel Bites is number one.
They take a turn on Halloween 2018 that you will fucking... Dude, there's one... All I'm going to say is... It's so good.
You know what that reminded me?
It's so good.
Dude, you know, I got the chills a little bit. I got the little goosey bumpies up my back when I saw that. It reminded me of the same, like, I'm not going to be dishonest, but it was up there. When you saw Batman Begins for the first time, when you saw the trailer for it, it's like all fucking weird and shit, and you don't know what movie it is. And then when he goes, here. And then, when they're like, where are you? And you see here, and he's like hanging upside down, and then it's like Batman. I was like, huh? Like, it set the tone for like, oh, fuck. Man, that was such a great visual. Dude, and it's the same way that I feel when I saw that. And again, I don't want it just to be focused on that one particular scene. There's a lot of great scenes in the film, but that was something that really made our dicks hard. And that's easy to do. All you got to do is blow on us and we'll get hard. But it really made it hard for like 4 hours.
Sometimes a cold wind blows and I get a hard on. But no, literally.
You left the window open.
We filmed a reaction for it when we watched it. That's not going to be out until after the short comes out. But there was one moment in the scene where I particularly yelled out, like, if this was a scene in Halloween Kills, the scene that we were watching in this fan film, if this were a scene in Halloween Kills, I would buy it, I'd be okay with it, and I'd be fucking psyched about it. They take something that happens in Halloween 2018, and they film it so fucking well, and it looks so fucking good, and it's so intense, and so well done, that it literally could be a scene in Halloween Kills, and you would be alright with it. This is one of the best Halloween Michael Myers fan films I have ever fucking seen, and I cannot wait for you guys to watch it. It's gonna blow your fucking minds.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. And again, so much respect goes out to people that make these fan films, and there's so much effort that they go through to make these things happen for all of us to enjoy and dissect and experience. And they really did take the taco pal. There's a lot of fan films out there, and there are a lot of really good ones. There are a lot of not poor, but just not all the way up there. But this one, like you said, it does feel like something left over from like a Jason, like a Blumhouse script. Like that is something that they either had included or in their film, or maybe like bonus features that they cobbled. Because when you watch it and you see what they're doing with it, how it looks, and the story that's going through it, especially the Dr. Loomis guy that they got. Man, I'm like, fuck, that is so like creative and well done. It's like, man, you should have been a consultant on fucking Halloween, without a doubt. And
you guys are gonna love.
You also get the fan, there's definitely, they've got the Halloween 2018 fucking badassness of John Carpenter. The music score is great. They've got that and the original, the OG Halloween theme music. Again, can't say enough about it. And when it comes out, when it drops, make sure you like it, you subscribe to their channel, you give them some love, and you give them some chocolates for Valentine's Day.
Halloween Inferno Part 2 is going to come out here in just a day or so, and it's going to blow your fucking minds. And our review of it, we don't rate fan films because we respect them so much, what they're doing. It's hard to rate it, but
I'm not doing it. Don't do it.
It's top notch. That's all I'm going to say. It's top notch. Yeah. Halloween Inferno Part 2, keep it on your fucking radar. Make sure you guys watch that shit. It's going to blow your fucking tits off.
Top gear.
In school, so you are jiggling me. Stop. But at school, I couldn't. No, your arm is jiggling. Why are you so fucking hot? Stop! Your body heat is like a goddamn Sahara desert.
So, moving on into the other reviews that we're going to do this week.
Let me go ahead and let me introduce this. Okay?
Spit it.
I'm going to spit some rhymes at you. You guys ever heard of a movie that nobody wanted to watch, but then you watched it and you're like, why did I watch that? But I did watch it. Now I have to think about it all the time. And it had a movie that had a monster that looked a lot like Madonna without makeup on. Well, I got a movie for you. It's called The Unnameable or The Unwatchable or both. No, it was a Patreon requested film.
Our friend Chuck Pavick requested this, and we have a dual Patreon going on, by the way, between Church Jackson and Chuck the Unnameable.
Chuck, I want to ask you a question, and I like your first name because Chuck Norris is a great guy. I mean, I heard that he died in 1992, but death was too afraid to tell him.
Nordic track.
He was. But
Chuck Norris is still alive.
Do you hate us?
It's okay.
Were you mad at us for something? Did we say something that offended your butthole? No. You may enjoy this, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody that doesn't.
I think he knows it was so good it's bad.
It's not so bad. I don't know if it's so bad it's good. It's just it's so bad it's fucked. Look, there are moments in this film that it's kind of cool. The practical effects. That's the thing you gotta love about movies that came out in the 80s. 1988 is when this movie was released. The practical effects look decent, and the gore effect is there. They don't show a lot. But god damn, that monster's fucking annoying. So you shut the fuck up and go back to Werewolf Teddy Bear City. I don't even know what that thing is. What? I thought it was a dude. I thought the creature was a dude, and then I saw titties. And then I was slightly aroused, and then I hated myself.
First off, Chuck is a badass dude.
He's a great guy.
Thank you for this pick, man. Thank you for being awesome, you. And he actually sent us the Blu-ray for it to watch it on too. But The Unnameable, 1988. There's these dudes, and they're hanging out in a field, and they're college kids, but they're hoity-toity fucking
I'm just gonna say, and I'm nothing against those guys, those actors that played that, and they're not, but they look like the kind of fucking douchebags that would cover up for Sandusky at Penn State.
They look like Van Wilder's nemesis. Yeah, that's what they are.
Especially that motherfucker that does the folklore.
Dicks. Yeah.
Obviously, you're not up on the folklore because when I say it's true, there has to be something to happen. I was like, shut the fuck up and get laid.
They're such dicks, man. But they're sitting out in the field, and the movie opens up in olden times, right? We're in the olden times,
dude. Did you think
the Sam Adams motherfucker sitting in his castle?
Dude, you look like motherfucking Geppetto running around with his little fucking nightcap. He's like, I'm just a little nightcap, and he was supposed to be a fucking warlock. What the fuck warlock is that from the Land of Oz? He looked like a. I was thinking, as soon as I saw it, dude, he had that little night hat. I was like, that's motherfucking Geppetto. Geppetto.
He's sitting in his castle like Beauty and the Beast, and like he hears something tapping at his window door, and he goes up and he releases things like, "Now it's all right. It's all right. It's all right." And he lets this monster out, and the monster eventually fucking eats him and rips his fucking heart out. And the dude's laying there like George Washington, just like bleeding out. And then but that death scene was funny because the dude that like had his heart ripped out, like the monster rips his heart out and throws it on top, and the dude starts humping. He's like,
no, he was getting it up. He was getting it up.
He was like humping on top of his own dead heart.
And he was an old man.
But then you see these 3 college kids laying out having a fucking picnic together, and they're like, the one kid's like, "Oh, I got the best ghost stories. You want to hear I got the best fucking ghost stories." And he tells them about.
I was like, no, I was just wondering when the fucking beer's coming. Why are we all hanging out here together?
Yeah, there's these 3 like freshman college kids. They're hanging out in this forest.
No, there's the 2 are seniors. That kid's a freshman.
Oh, that's right. But they're hanging out, and he's like, "Well, there was this one kid, and he saw something so horrendous in that window that he died of shock."
Was it worse than your mother's face? When's the fucking cat coming? I wish that there had been like realistic fucking college kids.
And then the one guy's like, "Dude, I'm not scared. I'm gonna stay the night in this house by myself. Who's coming with me?" And they're both like, "Nah."
It's like,
nah. So the dude stays the night in his house by himself.
I gotta return some videotapes.
It's hundreds of years later or whatever, and he goes to stay the night in his house by himself. And obviously the creature, the unnameable creature who you don't see for 97% of the film.
Oh my god.
Fucks his shit up.
Look, oh my god, dude. Like I don't want to talk about it. Like, dude, look, Chuck. Is there a self-help program that we need to sign you up for? No, I'm kidding. Like, it's like I didn't enjoy it. Like I liked the gore parts of it. I thought the gore parts were really good and they were well done. I think the movie itself, for what it was, being corny and crass and cheesy, if it was on purpose, I'd be like okay with it. But it almost felt like, in some ways,
a bit above.
It was like they didn't really have an identity for the movie. They didn't know like where to go, because they had that one douchebag kid that was in the folklore stuff, and it felt like he was supposed to be a comedy relief, kind of like what's his name from House on the Haunted Hill, the remake?
Chris Kattan,
kind of like a Chris Kattan kind of guy, but they didn't really go with that enough and develop it. And then there was some corny ass fucking moments where like literally corn chips grew in my hair. It was so corny. It was really bad corny, and it wasn't good bad corny. It was just corny. But fuck, dude, like that monster. When I was, god damn, I was like, are you serious?
So for like 90% of this film, you don't see the monster. You don't know what it really is. You just hear its like girlish screams. It's like and like that's all you hear.
It sounds like anybody on the toilet after a night with Taco Bell.
It's like me eating beat-ups 3 times this week from the takeout.
It's bad.
The shits are the mango habanero. Listen, when you eat mango habanero from beat-ups, there's 2 things. It's got the heat and it's got the syrup. So not only do you have painful shits, but you have slow painful shits. So basically, I was the monster in the castle.
Coffee maker shits.
Yes, I was the monster in the castle in this movie. But you got the one kid, the one dude who's this college kid, and he's like really fucking Egon, but like a dick Egon, and he's like full on like, I am a straight up nerd. I'm all about the numbers and the facts.
I think he looked like young Jerry O'Connell.
I could see that too. Yeah. And then you've got the kid who's a freshman, and like
that is the kid that's a freshman.
Oh, no, we're talking about 2 different people. Well, there's the freshman kid. He looks just like Bates Motel. The kid who was in Bates Motel.
That's what I thought. He looked like Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, he's a freshman, and he's like a nice kid or whatever, and he's like, we should go check on this guy. Because the dude, he decides to fake his friend out. He's like, I'm going to stay the night in the castle just to prove that you're full of shit. Because you got the one nerdy kid who's an asshole who like is like super smart, and he's like, He's got like the Ivy League sweater. He's like, fuck you guys. And then you've got these 2 like douchebag college kids who are trying to pick up girls, so they bring these 2 girls to this house too. So long story short, everybody ends up in this house, in this old school house where this creature is supposed to live in the past.
Kind of like how the viewers are. We got sucked into this fucking dream, and I can't wake up.
And the unnameable creature just starts killing people off one by one, slowly. And when he kills people, you gotta give him credit.
It's gory.
He fucking ruins people.
But dude, okay, at what point did you be like, all right, fuck me for fucking having the time to sit here and watch this? Was it the part where you saw her come out of the fucking shadows and look like goddamn Godolina from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Or was it when they shit fucking tree branches at her through the fucking window? The tree spirits were with me.
We're not even there yet.
I don't even want to talk. I really, at this point,
you got Castle Freak, and then you've got Hell Night with Linda Blair. But long story short, all these people are trapped in this house, and like a couple of them, like college kids having sex. This one girl What was up with her tits, by the way? She had a titty and then a nipple, which was the size of a titty, on top of a nipple, which was the size of a titty. Did you see those?
I saw Rocky tits.
No, it was a tit, and then her nipple was the size of a whole nother tit, and then the nipple was another size of it. There was the tit, and then the nipple was its whole own tit. It was. You didn't see that?
I didn't
it was
really. I didn't. I was so out of it. I didn't.
But it was fucking crazy. Anyways, like these college kids get trapped in this, and like the college kids are such assholes that like you hate half of them anyways. This castle freak fucking monster starts showing up, and it starts fucking people up, and you don't see him for 90% of the movie. All you hear is his girlish screams. But when he starts to show up, you see his goat feet. You see his fucking goat feet like halfway through the movie. He's like, motherfucker has goat feet. And then when he finally shows up, he's like,
That's what I said, dude. I was like, I thought it looked like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles bad guy, like Godolina, or it could be a fucking Skeletor bad guy.
It looked like it was smelling its own fart though. It was like, eh, oh, eh.
I was like, yes, that looks familiar. Ex-wife, are you there?
When it shows up, and then all the smart dude like goes under the ground, and he starts like reading poetry, and then like shit starts blowing up.
Oh
and
my
the
god,
monster
it's so bad.
It's the worst. It's not a good movie at all.
Dude, they shake tree
bad
branches
fun.
at it. You can literally probably there's guys
It's
like
they're like
they're shaking tree branches and they're like, get it, like they're switching her. Like when you even get switched, they're like, and she was like, But you know what? Here's the weird thing. There's one part where the guy's on the ground and it's crawling up on her, and I was so like, you know what? I'd do it. It's like if you're drunk enough, you're like,
because the monster has like goat titties.
It's a girl. It's a girl fucking monster, and it was like she was like, and she's like crawling up on him, and he's like, another. If you were like fucking drunk or high, you're like gonna die. It's like, what if you're like, the erection or something? You're like, I'm sorry, and then it was like, oh, but it's funny. It's there's a lot of like super cheesiness in it that you can like be like, hey, that's funny.
It looks like a trailer for Cats.
It just, oh god,
it
does.
it's like wearing a cat suit, and when it finally comes up, it's like, and it's trying to be scary. It's like,
it looks like, you're right. It looks like Cats produced by Sammy Sosa.
It's fucking
the steroids were in everywhere because that thing was fucking pumped up. But nonetheless, no, dude, I'm sorry.
It's a good bad horror movie.
I'm sorry, I can't even give it a good bad.
Based on an H.P. Lovecraft story, by the way.
H.P. Lovecraft died 3 times when that movie was made.
The whole idea of the movie is that the creature is so hideous that it's unnameable because you can't describe how ugly it is.
Nobody talks about me in front of my face.
And when you finally see it, it just looks like a goat that was wearing a cat suit. And it's like, I don't know, it's so fucked up and weird. It's a wild fucking movie.
I'm sorry, man. It's not, Mike thinks it's so bad it's good. I think it's just so bad it's fucked. Like, it's so bad it's bad.
I give it a 5 out of 10.
Oh, wow, dude.
I give it a 5 for its sheer fucking batshitness.
Did you get paid for this review? Or what?
I give it. Well, I give it. Let me be fair. I give it a 5 because the acting is so bad, it's funny. No, the acting is bad funny. You gotta give it that.
I say that because Mike and I reacted to a Merkins video and we were accused of taking.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I said that. But Mike did get paid in blowjobs. But no, actually, I'm gonna give the movie a goddamn 2.0. I'm sorry, man. And look, Chuck, I love you, man. I really do. But I think that Mike and I really did something to insult you, and you try to battering our buttholes and say, "Watch this shit," and be ruined. But and the reason why I'm giving it even a 2.0, I didn't enjoy the movie. I was like, you will not enjoy yourself, and this will not be over quickly. Like, it felt like that. I was being tortured in the BDSM room.
You can't tell me you didn't laugh at the college kids and their bad acting.
I didn't even laugh at that.
Shit was entertaining.
At first, I was like, it's gonna get like maybe there's gonna be something that happens that's gonna be like obviously that it's supposed to be, you know what I mean?
It was on accident, but it was bad. Yeah.
It just never happened. I felt like a vomit bag was completely strapped to my face constantly, and I was. But I like the graphic, not the graphic, but the gore effects. I miss those, and that's what I like the thing about it. The gore effects are done really well, the practical effects, and also the fact that I got to give them credit for it, and even the 2.0 that I give it. The balls to make movies like that, like you don't get to see that shit anymore.
It's
like
weird.
You don't get to see anything like that.
It feels like a tape that you like dug out of your neighborhood.
But I gotta give them credit though, man. At least they took something and they tried to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't try to rely on remake after remake after remake of doing something. They fucking did something with that, so I got to give them credit for that. But it's a 2.0, man.
Yeah.
Flush it down the toilet.
Yeah, and Chuck, we love you very much, and I hope that you did this as a joke. I feel terrible if this is like your favorite horror movie.
I am sorry,
but and I love you very much, man. You're an awesome fucking dude. But yeah, that shit was fucking great. And again, I give it a 5 because I found the acting so bad and horrendous that I actually laughed at it and like had a good time. And the gore effects were really good.
they were great.
And the story is just so fucking batshit wild. So
I'm sorry, Chuck. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? I love you.
I gotta tell you the truth.
I'll tell you the truth.
I gotta tell you the truth.
God damn. That's how I felt after I watched.
That's true. I feel that.
Michael, why are you doing? Oh, yeah, Michael doing? Yes, Michael, suck a dick. Is what he's saying. I thought you were trying to do Phantom of the Opera, but what he did, he fooled me. And then sucked a dick.
So our next review tonight is going to be for our friend Church Jackson.
Jackson.
Fucking birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Oh.
Church Jackson, Revenge of the Action movie is taking its place in the WHAM Video Weekly from now on. We're going to do it this way. It's just going to feel sexual and dark, and you're going to like it.
Welcome to the church. Let's get fucked up and smoke weed. All right, Church Jackson, he chose Streets of Fire. Streets of Fire. And no, not those aisles in Costco where people are hoarding up on toilet paper. Those are Streets of Fire.
You don't want that smoke.
You'll... Skid in that smoke wagon and see what happens. But no, yeah, it's not that. It's a 1984, the year of my birth. The 1984 film. It's got William Dafoe in it. It's got Diane Lane in it. Fucking awesome. It's got the guy that played
Smooth.
She's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
They got the guy that played Slider in Top Gun. I don't know. He's been in some other movies, but I don't know. He's the deputy. Dude. And then they got one guy, and I can't remember the motherfucker's name, the main guy in it, but you know, he reminded me of like Jeff Speakman or something. Like, he had the same kind of aura about him. He also, like, the whole movie is set up like Double Dragon, the video game. It's like an NES game come to life on the fucking big screen. It was really cool to see. Basically, it's like, I love it's like a rock and roll opera or something. It says in another time, in another place. And it takes you into a realm of like a 1950s kind of setting, but they've got 80s music going on, they've got 80s concerts, and then they've got like 1950s doo-wop kind of shit going on. Right. They got that kind of shit going on too. And you know, they got the biker gangs, you've got the bombers, you've got the roadmasters, you've got all this cool shit going on. And a very simple plot. Diane Lane is a rock and roll singer, and she's doing a concert.
That shit slaps.
She a bombing.
That shit slaps.
She is smoking though. And it kind of reminded me of Patti Smith or something. She fucking shit goddamn hot. Joan Jett. And then fucking William Dafoe, the leader of the bombers, a biker gang, decides, I want a piece of that ass and I don't want to ask permission. And in the middle of their concert, he rushes the stage. By the way, we forgot the most important guy that's in this movie. Not the most important, but one of the... Maybe the most. Rick Moranis.
Fucking Moranis.
Fuck yes, honey, I shrunk the kids again and suck a dick.
And I hated his role in this.
I liked it.
I loved him so much that I hated his role.
Yeah, he was great though. That's when you know you're doing your job right. But so William Dafoe wanting that ass, he's like in the middle of her concert, he's like, I'm gonna sneak up here like the Repo Man from the WWF and I'm gonna tax. And that's what he does. In the middle of her song set, he's like, fuck yeah! And he grabs her like a caveman style, takes off out of I can't remember the little district they're in, into the Battery, which is another part of town that's a really bad part of town where they control the territory. So in the meantime, Reva, which is the sister of the main guy, sends a letter to he's got the perfect name. He's got the perfect name for this fucking movie, Tom Cody. This motherfucker, Tom Cody.
And they all call him Cody.
Yeah, like the meanest rootin' tootin' son of a gun of the West, Tom Cody. Reva, his sister, sends a message to him and says, I need you, because he's been gone for a long time. He comes back into town. She basically says, look, you gotta go rescue your old flame, your ex-girlfriend that's been kidnapped by this asshole William Dafoe that has a haircut that looks like the owl with the fucking Tootsie Pop commercial. But fuck it, you gotta go do it. And he's like, I'm not doing nothing. He talks like Dolph Lundgren that had sex with Sylvester
The
Stallone.
script is so bad in points like that.
But dude,
the movie is like vibrant as fuck and it's fun
It's
as
so
shit
good.
to watch. But the script is so like it's almost cheesy and corny. Like I ain't gonna let nobody take my girl.
Dude, and he meets another girl later on as the film progresses. Oh, Bill Paxton's in this. Fuck yeah, Bill Paxton's in this as the goddamn bartender. He's a great dude. Bill Paxton is the greatest character actor of all time. Fight me for it. He really is. Like everything he was in was fucking like killer. Every part he made his own. And it was something that stand out. He was great. But what you find out about Cody is Cody comes in and he's kind of like distant. He don't really fucking care. He's like, I'm just back in town because you asked me to be in town. I mean, why are you bothering me? And then Reva's like, but your old girl. He's like, I don't care about her. She left me. And I can't remember Rick Moranis' name in the movie. It's something weird. He's like a weasel. He's basically the manager.
He's like Alvin Chipmunk's manager.
Yeah, he's like, he's the manager of Diane Lane. And they also are now boyfriend girlfriend. How the fuck that happened? I know he has a huge dick, I guess. But either way, or a huge bank account. But either way, what eventually winds up happening is that I can't remember Cody. He winds up meeting up with another chick named McCoy, and they become partners. And
she's like Gary Busey's distant cousin.
Do you know who she is? Dude,
She's been in a bunch of shit.
Dude, she was the girlfriend in Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
And she was the what was the other movie? She was the wife in well, whatever. But dude, she's been in a shit ton of movies. She's a great actress.
Yeah.
But they meet up. What they basically find out doing is Fish. That's Rick Moranis' character's name, Fish, and that's a perfect name. He smells like one. He's probably got a little wiener like one, but who knows? Maybe he's a big one. But he says, "I'll give you $10,000, Cody, to go get her. All right? Stop being an asshole. Go get her.
Save me from this monster I became."
So Cody's like, I need that money, and I'll take it. He goes with McCoy. They hook up. They're gonna go after Diane Lane's character. They take along Fish to know that he knows the area of the battery. Dude, I don't want to give the whole fucking movie away, but I'm telling you a lot. But dude, it's so well done. It's really it's one of those movies that is perfectly captured in the 80s. Like, it's got so much 80s glory to it, but it's got like a 50s kind of soundtrack in the background, and it's got like a Double Dragon fucking final fight kind of thing going on. It's so fucking well done, and I love the shit out of it. I thought it was so fun and easy to watch, and
It's like a video game movie.
and the main guy, Tom Cody, like, you can't fucking make that shit. His name is Tom fucking Cody. Like, there's one part where McCoy's like, is that all you gotta say? He's like, that's all I gotta say. What else I gotta say? It's so good. Like, I don't know. And there's one part where he's trying to be a badass. He's like, because you always carry around them guns on you, and she's like, yeah. And he's like, don't be pointing at me. I might not like it that much. Like, dude, I don't know. It's so corny with those lines, but wow. And by the way, I also want to point out, if you look at William Dafoe in this, dude, there is no doubt in my mind at all that he would have been a fucking killer Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, because you gotta remember, in 1989, 89, the Tim Burton's Batman came out, and they cast Jack Nicholson. They were interested in William Dafoe.
Yeah.
And he's young enough in this film, and that would have only been a few years later. Wow, dude, he would have fucking killed it.
Yeah, it's straight up bad guys versus good guys, and like the bad guys, like, they run shit, like they've got their motorbike gangs that like just take over concerts and fuck people up and all this stuff. And Cody's this guy who just he left town because his hot ass girlfriend, like, he fell in love with her, but he was too cool to be in love, so he left town for a couple years.
He's such a bitch though, because he's like, your music was before me.
It's a musical / fucking straight up Jean-Claude Van Damme action movie with some badass stuff going on. It's a cool ass.
At the very end of the movie, it's literally Lionheart.
Yeah.
He has to fight the fucking. Oh, I can't tell you that. Like, I want you guys to see this. Like, some of you guys may never even heard of this. And by the way, the fucking art cover, like the cover art, I mean, for the VHS is fucking. Dude, it's like one of those old school painted ones. And I looked at that, and I remember seeing that as a kid, and I'm like, God damn, it looks, I keep bringing Double Dragon up. It really, really reminds me of Double Dragon.
It's all the action movies / musical / 50s / fucking, dude, it's amazing. It's like Gotham City badass.
You know what that reminded me of is that fight sequence kind of reminded me of because it took forever. Not as long, but it reminded me of They Live. Where they fought forever in the fucking streets.
It just kept going.
And it was so good. I was like, I want more of this.
But it was one-on-one.
Can I have another, sir?
You got your hero versus your bad guy, and they're using pickaxes and fists. They're using fists, and it's glorious.
But yeah, man, I can't say enough about the movie. It's so well done. It's so cool. It's so easy to watch. And it definitely puts you in the mindset of, like, after it was over, I was literally on Google trying to find Double Dragon wallpaper. Like, I wanted to find Double Dragon internet wallpaper for my phone.
Yeah.
It brought me back to a time, like, in the 80s, like the mid 80s, when they were making these kung fu fucking movies. Like, not really kung fu, I guess, but kinda. When these guys that just you didn't think knew karate, and they were like doing shit, and they were fighting the bad guy, and the good guy won, but he had to go through some trials and tribulations, and it was just very simple and straightforward.
Very lighthearted.
Yeah, and they had a cool fucking like soundtrack to it. It was just fucking awesome, man. It was cool. God damn, man, I'm gonna give that movie an 8.5, Church. Like, I fucking loved the shit out of this movie. And it was weird because I was watching it and I was like, did I see this? But maybe I did back in the day. It's possible because Mike and I and my brother were renting like old school action movies back a long time ago. So it's possible I picked it up and I just don't remember it. But I do remember the box art cover. And I remember seeing that. And I was like, that always looks fucking cool to me. It always had a really neat, unique kind of appearance to it. The only thing I would say I didn't like that much about it, and it's really not that much of a knock, it's just that I wish that Bill Paxton had a bigger part, then William Dafoe had a bigger part, because they're in the films, I mean, but they don't, I just feel like they weren't fleshed out enough to really be that super bad guy. You know, I would have embraced the part where he was gonna be, you know, William Dafoe was our main bad guy, and I would have focused more, because he's dirty and fucking nasty, and he don't give a fuck.
He dresses like an S&M dude.
Yeah, they're all wearing like Huckleberry Finn fucking shit, and except for him, and he's like BDSM all the way. Like, that shit is fucking red light district.
He's freaky as fuck though. When he's standing there like facing the cops, and like his dudes show up, and he like his smile starts like
ticking on his face.
Like, he's fucking.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, he would have been the fucking Joker. Like, oh my god, dude. And if they ever, even now, dude, I would say, if you had to ask me, like, obviously Joaquin Phoenix fucking killed it, but William Dafoe as the Joker, I would be all right with that. I cannot tell you enough that you've got to check this movie out, guys. Like, seriously, do yourself a favor, for real.
Straight testosterone up your nasal cavities.
God, I would never do anything to hurt you, Hershey.
And also, like, it has a style of like The Last Dragon, Barry Gordy's Last Dragon.
Kinda, yeah.
It has some with like the musical shit going on it. It's
Who's the meanest,
wild.
baddest sucker in town?
Show enough.
Shit, yeah.
Show enough.
He goes like this. He goes, yeah. Anyway,
Leroy.
Maybe next time we'll get to review that. But wow, Church, man, fucking great pick. Happy birthday, man. And I hope you watched this on your fucking birthday and got drunk and got a good time with the 50s doo-wop and combed your butt hair and had a good oral sex.
Peanut. Stop. Peanuts.
He doesn't like you. He doesn't want to kiss you. He doesn't want to hug you. He wants to hug you with a knife to your fucking face. If he gets a hold of you, you're dead. You're dead. You see? He tries to lure you in to stab your titties. Don't act stupid. He playing possum with you. All right? You know what? Take a chance. Take a chance on the Butthole Express. Mike, I almost vomited.
All right, so next up we have a script review. It's been a fucking while, Jay. It's been a while since we've done a
Let's
script
get
review.
naked. Fucking rolling jello.
I want to. Thanks to Bloody Disgusting and Jeffrey Reddick, one of the original creators of Final Destination. We covered the story last week, where he was talking about how he originally had a completely different script for the Final Destination that we saw on screen, where the characters actually like were driven to kill themselves rather than this crazy fate monster hanging over them and killing them. Now, they released this week the actual treatment that he had and a script, and we're going to review and recap the actual script that he had for the original Final Destination before Final Destination.
Let's go down the rabbit hole and get fucked.
Oh, it's going to get nasty,
Hey,
Jim.
man, I'm going to tell you right away, this script was fucking awesome.
It was
like,
good.
It is badass good. And you know what? I love Final Destination. I love what we got. Like, it was great. It was amazing. The script is solid in the movie that we got in the final product. But this, I was telling Mike earlier, like, if they made this something that, you know, they were going to remake, which I don't want them to remake Final Destination, but if they were going to remake it, using this script as a basis would be fucking incredible. The main thing, like, it's dark as fuck, dude. Oh my god, it's so much darker than the original script that we got, or the original movie that we got. Like, this is like when you find the whistle in Super Mario 3 and you have to go to World 8 and you have 1 life and you're like, that's a holy fucking shit package and I'm not ready. I don't have a Game Genie in, and it's like when you first find the whistle and you go into the dark, like, doom, 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 and it's fucking scary and like there's shit on fire and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
The Pop-Tart concrete that would like drop on you.
Oh, dude, like, oh my god. And it reminded me overall, it feels like it borrows shit from, and I said this when we were mentioning it last week. It borrows from Jacob's Ladder. Sometimes they come back, and a little bit of Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, as far as the nightmare scenarios.
I definitely see the nightmare.
The nightmare scenarios that happen. And also, one of the main differences that you see in this is that death itself literally has like a personality. It has presence other than just a floating black cloud, like a fart cloud. It's actually a presence that talks.
Yeah.
And interacts.
So, and here's the whole idea. Like, the whole idea before, and we covered it last week, was that Jeffrey Reddick wrote a script treatment for this, and an actual script for it. And in the original script, instead of having fate come around and like kill these characters in crazy ways, like we saw in Final Destination, the way he would do it was they would feel such guilt for having these people die on Flight 180 that they would end up killing themselves. So you had teens killing themselves instead of having, you know, the Grim Reaper in some sort of cloud form killing them with whatever was around. They would kill themselves, and it ultimately ended up being too dark and whatever for the theaters or for the studios. But the one thing I want to say about this, when I heard that, I thought the alternate to what we got, which was like a popcorn, Final Destination, a popcorn, crazy kills horror movie, which we love. I thought his original script was more in lines of like a Hereditary, like something dark. Yeah. Like in one instance in the script, a girl, a sister dies. Like her sister dies on the plane crash, and she's so overcome with guilt that she's dressing up as the sister. She's pretending to be the sister, and eventually in the script, she like covers herself in gasoline and perfume or whatever she can find, and she lights herself on fire.
Isotoners.
In my mind, when I heard that at first, I was thinking that the original script was far more like Hereditary and like dark, you know, horror, like it was, but it's not. It still reads like a Final Destination film. It still has that popcorn flavor to it in a way I didn't expect it to. But you're talking about teens killing themselves. You're talking about all these dark things, and it still translates to the same Final Destination that you got in the theaters, but it's just way darker.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. Like to me, it felt like on a level of horror. Like as far as like when they have these flashbacks, these teens of them, their former classmates coming and trying to drag them into the ground and make them die with them. Like, you should be here. This is where you belong. And like, there's one specific scene. You were talking about the girl that sets herself on fire. I'm thinking about Tony, and I think it's Heather is his girlfriend in it. When she appears to him at the subway station and she's vomiting out her insides, walking towards him as she's crying crimson tears.
Into his fucking mouth.
Yeah, and then
it tastes like shellfish.
Oh God! Did you have daiquiris by any chance? I'm just wondering. But yeah, like she's vomiting and like slowly becoming more of a husk as she vomits and walks towards him, and she's like, "How much do you love me? How much do you love me?" I was like, "Not enough to die, bitch. I'm leaving our social circle." You also find that the people of the town. You know, they're all survivors and hang out together now, which is pretty much in line with what we got. But they think they're part of some kind of suicide cult. Like, they're all like so guilty about what they did that they're forming some kind of like cult. It's fucking really, it's an amazing read. It actually reads really easy. It's a breezy kind of beautiful cover girl kind of read, and it's shocking how violent it gets and how dark it gets. And I'm like, fuck, dude, like toward the end, like even with the little heartbeat from the baby, I'm like, fuck. I don't know. I think the only way it could have been better is if you got fucking the Grim Reaper from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, because you may be a king or a little street sweeper, but sooner or later you dance with the Reaper.
At one point, he has a premonition. They're all feeling guilty, and they decide to go together to the crash site of the plane going down. Yeah. And Devon Sawa's character in the script has a premonition where the plane goes down and they're all out there and they're all like trying to feel something, and they're going through their grieving motions, but all of a sudden, like, their ashes from the plane, they come up and they grab them by the legs and they start pulling them down.
It's fucking crazy.
And it's like this guilt thing that they go through.
But I related to Alex like a motherfucker in this. Like, why do I feel guilty? Like, fuck fuck y'all. Ming rank better me than them. I felt like that the entire time reading it. And I mean, obviously I identified with Alex in the original Final Destination because, I mean, he's trying to warn everybody and they're all thinking he's like fucking nutball sandwiches.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really relate to him because he's like, why the fuck are you all so guilty for? Like, why are you all making it seem like we shouldn't have survived? But what you find out is that the death angel itself is like available. Like, he's there. He's in the fucking movie or in the script. He's actually a being that has substance. He actually shows up and he actually talks to him. That, I think, is one of the coolest things about it. He's like, you know, there's one scene where Alex is like, why are you doing this? And Death is like, to make things right. And it always has this dark, menacing voice. And I don't know, man. I feel like I love Final Destination. I really do. I love the original movie. But this one would have been so fucking like... You know what it feels like? It feels like if Blumhouse took it seriously to remake it and use this script.
Well, it's like, okay, so in the original, like in the movie, fate just like... Fate's not there, but it takes control of these kids and it makes them it makes them die in a way or another. But in this, Fate's an actual like black smoke cloud from Lost, but it has a face. And they eventually find in this, when they look up the history of the stuff that's going on, they see the face in the books and whatever. And Death will actually talk to the characters. Like at one point, before it throws a guy in front of a train, in this horrible scene where his dead girlfriend is like showing up to him. He's drunk and he gets done partying with his friends.
I was like, bitch, you got herpes? Why are you vomiting?
His dead girlfriend, who died on the flight, shows up and she starts puking.
No, she didn't die on the
up
flight.
Her. She starts puking.
Survivor,
up, yeah. She starts puking up her insides. Like she's throwing up her insides into his mouth. And you imagine what that would look like on screen. Ooh. Into his mouth. And then right before he's like tripping and about to fall in front of a train because of what he's seeing that's not actually there, Alex, Devon Sawa's character, shows up. And it looks like he pushed him into the train. But Death stops time, like Professor Xavier.
Goddamn.
And he looks at Alex and he was like, you know, stop interfering, stop doing this.
So woo-wee, that boy's got skill.
And there's one scene where there's one dude who's he's a huge Christian. Like he's all into the Christian. He's like, everything's gonna be fine, whatever. And like where the cross starts to burn into the wall, and the TV comes on, and they start to hear. There's a lot of guilt stuff going on. Like right before they die, they hear the passengers of Flight 180 like crying and like burning alive and dying,
and children laughing.
Yeah, and it's really fucked up. And like there's a scene where a dude kills himself with the garage. He hangs himself and he calls his dad right as it's fucked up because his dad's coming home from work. And he calls his dad hits the garage button and the garage starts to open and the kid calls his dad and he's like, I'm so sorry. And the dad has it's very squeamish because the dad has no idea that his son has tied a noose to the garage door. So when his dad gets home from work, he's hanging himself using the garage. And it's very, very squeamish with Drew Barrymore in the beginning when like their daughter dies like a few feet from him. It's more so like, fucking dark.
It feels like more like Rose McGowan. When she gets hung up.
Well, like literally for the kill, but yeah,
it looks like the thing is it's very creative on these kills, but like I said, they're very twisted. They're a lot more evil, I suppose you should say, as far as what you got in the final product of the original Final Destination, and the fact that Death does have, I think he could be Tony Todd because he does. When they describe him, when he finally comes to light at the end, a swirling black cloud, but it's a being that's made up of black smoke, but you can see eyes. So it is a being, like it's there. It reminded me of the way it was described. I'm probably gonna fuck this up, but I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I've cashed out my geek card. But the Nazgul from the Lord of the Rings, like those fucking screaming goddamn Reaper monsters that were the former kings.
What about the black monsters from Ghost? When they like drag them in the streets?
That would.
That was horrible.
It's amazing, Julie. You take the love with you.
That shit scared me.
Because the Nazgul, like, I think it's Nazgul, they have like the cloaks, they look like traditional like Grim Reapers. I don't think they would have gone that far, but they're made up, like, I think there might be a cloak or something. If the final product had come to light, you probably would see a lot similar to like like a kind of tattered robe and a hood and just the eyes coming out. And it's funny because what this thing does, it's called the Angel of Death, or they also say it's referred to in many cultures and religions as different things when they're looking up and researching it, which is pretty much what they did in the original movie. They're researching and they're trying to figure out the pattern, but they're like it's death. It was also called the Sisters of Fate in the Greek mythology and all these other things. It's really interesting. It's actually well done, and the fact is that this thing, a lot of people maybe in the Christian faith or in Judaism, I'm not 100%, they would think that, well, it's the angel of death. It's supposed to be comforting and take you on to the next life or whatever.
No, but this motherfucker's straight gangster.
Yeah, he's going to slice your shit up and say, I stole it. You know what he is? He's that motherfucker that held Vanilla Ice over the fucking, like, thing.
He's
like,
Suge Knight.
He's Suge Knight.
It's the Suge Knight of
It's
death.
the motherfucking Suge Knight. Yeah, that's exactly what he held Vanilla Ice over. He's like, where's my money, bitch?
Yeah.
And that's what he does, because he'll say, there's one part where one of the surviving girls is like, oh, you got to do better than that or whatever, because he feeds on your guilt, and that's what he's doing, your sins in a way. And he's like, I can do better. Like I could just, I was hearing it in my head, and I'm like, oh my fuck.
Yeah.
And dude, like, oh, if they had made this, I don't, like, I think that it would be, like, it would still be revered. Like Final Destination, it's always going to be revered. It would be revered in a different way, though. The same way that maybe people revere The Ring, the original Ring.
Sure.
Because
Yeah,
it would be
that.
something like a very cultish kind of fucked up movie.
Well, for instance, there's the one character in Final Destination who's like kind of gothic, and she's like
Nikki.
she tried to kill herself
Nikki,
before and
yeah.
whatever. In this, the way that they kill her off is that Death literally, like, she starts to open up cabinets, and like at one point she tried to kill herself using pills, right? So when Death comes after these characters, these high school kids, it fucking gets deep into their psyches and it fucks with them. So this particular character who had tried to kill herself using pills before, she opens up a cabinet and she sees a pill bottle that has her name on it, and she'll like shut the cabinet, and then she'll see another one and she'll open it and it'll be like, take until you die, and like fucked up shit like that. And then when Death ultimately kills her, it slices her Achilles, it slices her wrists, it bleeds her out dry in this most fucked up, awful, heinous way. This movie is really
Well, it's not
fucking,
just that-
like, it's mean. It's way meaner
What
than
I
the
was going to
shit
say
you
was
got.
like, also what's interesting, and that's why I mentioned sometimes they come back, is because each person that dies that survived the plane, they are the ones, when they die, they would come back and taunt the remaining survivors. So you would see the ghostly specters of your surviving friends. Like Nikki sees Heather, she sees Tony, she sees Monica, she sees all these people coming back, and they're
Fucked up scene.
They're all fucked and nasty, and they're trying to like, oh, you think you're better than us? You don't think you belong with us? And it's I was visualizing that, seeing these dead fucking kids, these teenagers, taunting you to join them, and you know,
very Nightmare on Elm Street and also very Mothman Prophecies.
I know,
like mixed together.
But I feel like we'd be fine, because I think the only fears that we have and
I'm like, shut the fuck up, Jay.
no, and regrets.
I'm not dying today.
No regrets. No, I'm not talking about us. I mean, like, if Death was like, I'm gonna feed on your fears, like, well, I ain't got none really. it's like, hey, in a microwave, here's an IPA, and I'm like, I don't have any beer or money because I'm out of work right now.
Do your worst, Dad.
So I'm gonna drink it. So what did you do now? Now you fucked. But no, yeah, it like they did a solid job, man. And goddamn, I'm not gonna say that I would not love to see this movie made. I would love to see this fucking script come to life in some way or fashion. And I'm also not gonna go ahead and say that I want a remake of Final Destination. But if you were gonna go on a remake,
here's what I'm saying though. Like, here's what I'm saying. Look, and this is it.
why you gotta lean up like Bob Saget?
I'm getting fucking excited, dick. What I'm thinking is this though. Like, we live in a world. Hollywood has no good ideas,
Yeah.
remakes, reboots, all this shit like that. What about the original version that the studios weren't willing to do before? So like Jeffrey Riddick wrote this script, and it's fucked up, and it's dark, and it's weird, and it's out there. And Death literally speaks. Like, Death is a cloud who speaks. At one point at the end of the movie, they're out in the middle of a field. Because it draws.
Dude, your fucking pitch would be terrible. It's like, it's a cloud that speaks and it's full of death.
I'm talking about the script.
I know, but you're like, it's a cloud that speaks.
So that's how that's how the script ends. Like, they end up in the field where the plane initially came down, and you've got the main girl who's looking up at the plane flying down at her, and like she's like, Death is forcing her.
That was an awesome scene.
Yeah, Death is forcing her to watch the plane fly out of the sky towards her and down her. And in this script, it doesn't blow up in mid sky. The plane like stalls out and then nosedives. So they put her out in this field, and she's watching the plane come down, and all these people are burning to death, and like the victims are like reaching out for
like
them.
zombies or
it's
something. Yeah.
Fucked up. It's so dark. It's fucked up. And like Death, at the end of this, she realizes none of this is real or whatever, and Death literally comes out, and it's like, it can't kill Devon Sawa's character because he had that premonition, so technically he wasn't supposed to die.
His time, yeah.
So Death realizes it can't kill him, but it can hurt him. So it's like breaking his legs, breaking his arms.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to die, but right before Death kills her, and we mentioned this last week when we talked about it, but right before Death kills her, it's like, oh, fuck, I can't do it because you got a baby inside of you because they fucked last week.
Yeah.
So the end of the movie.
The way they're describing it though, because when it swirls around her, because the girl's going to shoot herself in the head to protect Devon Sawa's character or Alex, you hear her heart going ka-thump, ka-thump, and they're making sure to emphasize that the audience would hear the heart beating faster and faster as she's putting the gun to her head, and the black cloud of death is surrounding her. But then it's like you hear slowly another heartbeat go like this,
yeah,
and then it gets fucking pissed. It's like, God damn it, I was going for my platinum record
because you got a baby inside of you.
Fuck.
So then it all seems happy, and then she's having the baby, and Alex is there. The baby comes out. They're like, the baby's healthy, everything's great. But as we talked about last week, the lights start to shudder. Death shows up at the door, and Death kind of jumps at the camera, and the thing ends because once she passed that life through her, and like she had the baby, now she's still supposed to be dead. So Death takes her, but. What I'm saying is that if you did this movie if you've done it in that way, it would have been so fucking dark and been so fucking out there. I don't know how it would have been perceived, but I don't know, man. Part of me thinks it would have been like the Final Destination franchise. If you put a gun in my head, I think it would be better off had they gone with this original script. And I hate to say that because Final Destination was such a well-known franchise.
I could agree. I could go there. I could join you in the sun, but I would choose to stay on the land and not go deep into the rivers.
It was so dark.
But I want to go into the rivers. I want to taste it first.
It would have scared people a little bit more.
I want to taste the river.
And if you scare people a little bit more, then your franchise does a little bit better.
Well,
I think the franchise would have been better off had they done it.
Here's the thing: if they had done that script, there's a lot like, and I'm not saying like you shouldn't be cautious about certain subject materials. Obviously, we know that. But if they had done this movie, you got September 11th, right? That was a big one. And that already happened with Final Destination anyway. But then the suicides and kids with mass school shootings and things like that, that might go back and look like coarse on that movie, in a way. Be a little bit more like crass in their critique of it. And it might ruin the franchise in that way. But also would say you could have the balls and just be like, look, it's a fucking fantasy movie, it's a fiction movie, it's a horror movie. It's not meant to be, a representation of anything that's going on in our current society or current affairs. It's just a fucking fun time, and it's dark and it's disturbing, but it's meant to be, I don't know, maybe enjoy some time with your kids. I don't fucking know, but I want to tip my toe.
Fuck with fate.
I want to tip my toe. No fucking hoe.
You want to fuck with fate?
I'm about ready to call fucking JG Wentworth. No, I want to dip my toe. You know what? Fuck it. I'll go all the way in. Yes. If you put a gun to my head right now and said, what would you rather have? The one you got for Final Destination, the movie, or this being made with Devon Sawa in the cast? I'd go with this.
Here's my only question, though. The only question I have for it is Death is actually a character. It speaks.
I like that.
It talks.
I like it.
I like the idea of it. But if you fuck that up,
no.
If you have because generally at one point they're in the field and they're fighting Death, and Randall's there and Alex is there and she's there and they're fighting Death, and Death, you see this giant black cloud come over the hill and it's fucking funneling towards you, and it cuts back to them trying to drive away and escape, and it's like an action sequence. It's like a fucking National Treasure action sequence where Death flips their car over, and Death's like, I can't kill you, but I'll break your arms. If you make Death too much of a character, you are really risking you have to do that because it could be really corny. If they did that, if they made Death corny, it would ruin the whole fucking movie.
Nobody wants Death corny. They want it cream and smoothie.
Yeah, you gotta
no, I was gonna say
dark skid marks.
I said, oh god, train tracks in the undies. But I said that last week. I thought it was initially a stupid idea to have Death as a character, stalking, as an actual being stalking them like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, because it takes away the suspense and the fact that it was a different kind of movie rather than just another serial killer thriller kind of movie.
Yeah.
But if they did it smart and they did it in a way where it's still smoky, monster kind of and it talks a little bit from the shadows.
There's a lot of dialogue.
It does, but not as much, not to a point where it's annoying. I feel like it's got
I see a stingray being like, you want to fuck with me? You want to fuck with me?
Or one of those fucking fish that clean the fucking glass. But no, I feel like if you keep it within reason, and I feel like obviously if the script was treated and it was actually going to be made, they would take chunks out of it, would make it more palatable for a lot of horror fans. I think the issue is if you make it, like you said, too much of a character. If you make it Michael Myers, if you make it Jason Voorhees, if you make it Nightmare or Freddy Krueger, then you're fucked.
It's all on how he looks.
But what I would do, yeah, exactly. I would do the Nazgul thing. I'm probably saying that wrong and fuck me in the ass. I'm sorry. But the monster things, the Reaper looking things in Lord of the Rings, if you did it like that, or something similar to that, where they only appear a little bit out of the shadows, or maybe even do something like Lights Out, the way like the shadows would come out like after you turn the lights off, just where it's like just a mass, but then it kind of forms a body a little bit, and you just see eyes coming out, and then you have Tony Todd's voice doing maybe a little bit more limited dialogue. I think it'd be fucking killer. And you know, I didn't even mind the part when it broke Alex's arms and shit and doing that, because what it said was like, yeah, I'm not like,
I can't kill you,
but I can fucking make you suffer. Like, I mean, and like I felt like in some way though, I did feel like Ghost Ship. He's like, I gotta fill a quota, okay? If I don't fill a quota, management won't be happy, and that's not a good thing. He's like, you got away, and management won't be happy, so don't get in my way, and nobody gets fucking over. But either way, yeah, dude, I gotta be honest. If you put a gun in my head, like I said, I would take this movie like made, and that's sacrilege, man. Like a lot of people are gonna come after our fucking nutsacks with goddamn tasers, but take this movie, make it with the cast that we had in Final Destination. I think you got a fucking bigger hit than what you got. And I'm not saying that the Final Destination, the original movie, is not fucking awesome. It's amazing. I'm just saying, if you guys get a chance, read this script on your own and see what you think.
If you do, I agree with you. If you do death right, like, and there's no way to possibly tell it. Like, it has to look good. The CGI has to be there. Like, it has to look perfect. It has to be done fucking well. If death is scary, if you make that fucking black cloud scary, that movie could be fucking. It could not only be like
O.J. Simpson.
It could not only be like a cultural phenomenon, like Final Destination was, where it's so crazy and fun with the crazy and wild kills.
It came out at the right time.
But it could be also truly frightening. Like, you could take a franchise that's here and put it up to here. But it's only if it's done right. So comment down below with your all's thoughts on that. If you read the script, we'll put the link down below for all that shit. It's a wild fucking script. It's crazy, but it's so cool that Bloody Disgusting went and got that and released it. I think it's a great conversation. So whatever your all's thoughts are.
The Wild Nights is calling. The Wild is calling.
There's a slight hemorrhoid creeping up on Michael that he's been dealing with in the night. No, for you, Michael. I'm not putting preparation H on his asshole. It's for you, Michael. You're not wiping either.
That's good. You don't want to cut yourself on the Ultimate Warrior's ropes of life.
The cosmos opens up, and then Mars looks at us and says, "Have you know the story of Romulus and Remus?" Somebody asked, I saw on Facebook, somebody asked, where does Mike and Jay get Asha? Because he knew what we were talking about, but he's like, I'm trying to find a clip.
It's the titty smack.
No, but somebody put it up. They put the right movie up. It was Rocky 3.
Oh,
he's like, Asha! Okay, so hey, Mike and Jay, my name's Efren, and I've been a big fan for a while and wanted to send you guys something.
Efren!
I hope you enjoy the movies I sent. They may not be horror, but I hope you like them. Nonetheless, you guys helped me get through the night shift where I work at a warehouse. That sucks, but you know what?
Been there, brother.
Money, bro.
Respect.
P.S. I'm sending this on my birthday, March 14th. I turned 28 today. Thank you guys for the entertainment you give us. Hey, man, happy late birthday. And he also has a great picture of sucking, fucking, and touching.
Oh, we got that sucking, fucking, and touching.
Man, happy birthday, bro. Like, happy fucking birthday.
Happy birthday, motherfucker.
And go ahead, do yourself a favor, and steal some shit from that warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope it's a stereo warehouse. Send some
more money.
Sony.
Hey, you remember that?
No, you know, every time I think of warehouse, dude, like sometimes when I always think of like the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's like regular or menthol with Sam Rockwell when they go on that. You know what I'm talking about? Like you could just buy. He's like, because if you whatever you want to do it.
I always think of Mo Money with the Wayans brothers. That was an underrated '90s movie.
I like them big.
That dude was taking a dumb. We got a shining postcard in there. Look at that. Look at that.
That's everybody's wife during the quarantine.
It's true too. It's so true. We got more Shining postcards, and that's every husband during the quarantine.
Absolutely, it is.
I saw a meme the other day. It was
I
like,
did too, yeah,
when you're like day 7 out of 8 drinking in your own hell. It was like, it's kind of quiet here tonight, isn't it, Lloyd? It's Jack Torrance drinking at the Overlook.
That's exactly what it is.
God damn. Oh, another one.
This is you peeking through the stall to see if that toilet paper is not locked up.
This is me when I'm trying to edit videos and my kids keep coming over and be like, "Hey, Dad, you want to play on the carousel?" Like, no.
That's me. That's me when I'm realizing I'm running out of antibacterials.
Oh, dude, these Shining postcards are dope as shit. That's a scary one right there.
That's it. Now,
That's me taking one thing during the quarantine is that you guys have to know is that B-Dubs does pickup delivery. So like you can do pickup even though you can't go in the restaurants. And I've eaten B-Dubs like 3 or 4 nights out of the 7 nights this week, and this is me on the toilet after having some mango habanero wings.
I was gonna say that's just everybody that's gonna be coming out of the quarantine, what they look like.
And then the last Shining one though, Danny with the red rum coming out. That's all of our kids.
Hey, by the way, motherfucker, that comes out of our deposit. Why'd you write on that shit?
All right, now we got some.
So he said they're not. I don't think none of them are horror, probably. Oh wow.
Well, there's a bunch of cards in here, so we'll go through the cards first before we go into the deep backgrounds. We got some Grimm cards. Grimm.
I remember Grimm.
The darkness of the Grimms.
Let me have some of those.
And then more of the. I say.
Dude, these are fucking cool though. Holy shit.
Darkness.
The Great Wall. It's collectible tickets.
Oh man, so special in the time where we can't go to the theaters. These are shiny as fuck, dude. They got a nice like film to them. The Matt Damon Great Wall.
Did you see that?
I didn't watch it yet.
It sucks.
It's the same one there.
It's a great movie though. Not. But this one's I don't know, but that's badass. What is that?
Oh, Valerian.
I never saw it.
I didn't see that one either. But they're God, that makes me want to just go to the fucking movies even more, man.
This reminds me of like the last action. He was like, "Do you have to have a ticket?" And then it rips it up and you can go into the movie. Then you got, oh, dude, that's fucking embossed.
The Jurassic World, yeah.
That's embossed.
Those are the IMAX tickets. Sexuals. You know, we're still going to get that new Jurassic World one. Look at that.
Holy shit, these are fucking cool as balls.
Yes.
You got some Fantastic Beasts.
That's what I call my dick.
You have more than one? You have multiple dicks?
Yeah, I got beasts. That's what I call my balls.
That's what I call my boyfriends. Oh, you got some solo shit. That's fucking cool.
It's some cool. I never saw that one.
That's a great.
You saw that one.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like, and they got a lot of bad, like fucking.
The solo artwork.
Yeah. And then you got Rogue One. That's fucking.
So
and that one, the next generation of Star Wars films, Rogue One to me is #1.
Dude, the end when fucking Darth Vader comes out and that was the coolest.
Get out of my face!
That was the dumbest shit ever.
Rogue One, in my opinion, is the best of the sequel Star Wars films under Disney. What do you think?
I would go Force Awakens above that though. Force Awakens is pretty.
Are you gonna put that above Rogue One?
Yeah, dude.
Even the Darth Vader thing.
Look, the end of Rogue One was dope.
You need to
check
your butt.
Listen, the last scene in Rogue One was the dopest thing they've done over the past 10 years. But yeah, all right. So we got the wrappings.
Oh,
we reviewed this bitch. You remember that? We went and reviewed this shit together. I got 2 chains. I got 2 guns.
Oh my god! If me and Mike were from goddamn Death Row Records, our YouTube channel would have been 2 guns.
Mark Wahlberg, Denzel Washington. That was a fun one, man. I enjoyed that. That's awesome. What else we got? What's this? Oh my god.
Oh. Dude, have you seen this?
That's some
dude. This shit. The blue is the warmest color. I'm telling you what, this motherfucker.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
No, I just fast forwarded the part that I wanted to watch.
Yeah, well,
but dude, that part, god damn, that was like Pornhub shit. Like it was levels of like. No, it's like this.
That's the Criterion.
I know, but this like you can rent this. See, they smoothly make the art cover like where it doesn't look like a porn.
Yeah.
But it's porn. and when you rent it, like they wouldn't. It's like look, blue is the warmest color. Is the most like. It's the most philosophical movie I've ever seen.
Like, I'm watching art, honey. Leave me alone.
You're just jacking your meat into a tube sock. But dude, like that scene.
I haven't seen it yet.
Wow, dude.
I'm gonna watch it.
They do. Wow.
I'm excited about it.
No, dude. Yeah, you're gonna watch.
That's the Criterion.
I want that.
It's the Criterion version too.
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna say just point out just real quick. It's a joke, what I'm saying. Not really, but it is. I know that there was a lot of controversy with the director. Did you hear about that?
Mm-mm.
Did you hear about that? The 2 actresses in this movie accused the director It shouldn't be funny, but it is. I'm sorry, I can't help my sense of humor. They were mad that the director kept making them do that scene over and over again and making it closer, and they wanted to. He made them keep doing more shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, I just felt really ashamed of myself because I was making a porn at some point. I'm like, did you get paid?
I hadn't seen it. Now I want to watch it.
Would you die for him?
I'm very...
Like, I feel like the seventh seal or seventh sign. Like, would you die for him? I was like, hey, give him the money back. But yeah, and then he came back later on and said they were fucking difficult to work with and he didn't give a shit about them. And he was like, I was making art. And that's
crazy.
But that's the coolest thing that you can hide behind if you're a director like that. But like, look, I made two girls fuck. And I'm making art. I'm sorry that you don't understand it because you're so limited in your space, but I'm making art.
Let's watch it together.
No,
we shouldn't. We shouldn't. This now we have Douglas Adams, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
You seen that?
I've never seen this.
Dude,
I don't know
that's
what this
a fucking
is.
great movie. It's not a movie. That's not the movie.
It's not the actual movie though.
No,
it's like a.
Oh, that's
mystery
the BBC.
science
That's the BBC. That's
I don't know what that is, but it looks fancy. I want to touch
Douglas Adams' best-selling cult classic. It's the original.
it. Oh, okay.
It's like volume. I've never seen this.
I don't know what the fuck that is,
cool.
but I'm into it, yo.
Thanks, man.
We'll dig in.
I can't believe he said this blue is the warmest color. Like literally, dude. I'm not gonna lie. You can go on Pornhub and you can find that scene. It literally is porn.
I will. I'll do that.
Just
All
watch
right.
this. It's on Blu-ray.
The last thing in this box is I don't know what the fuck this is.
Oh, that's Magic to Win.
Magic to Win. That's all I can read.
Oh, dude, it's all Japanese. Oh, it's not.
I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.
Oh, it's better than Chinese, huh? No, I'm kidding. Oh, like the world constituted of 5 elements: gold, wood, water, fire, and earth. Is this about the fucking 70s group? Earth, water, and fire? In the wizardry world of Happy Ghost, Magic to Win, it revolves around the story of 5-element wizardry. Hong Sung-kwa, university professor, is the wizard of water of 5 elements wizardry.
So there's going to be a lot of strange brothers.
Although he casts magic spells in daily life, his superpower remains a secret. Then by accident, his power is transmitted to the student, Macy, bringing enchanting and meaningful adventure to this ordinary girl.
I want my ordinary girl to be enchanted.
Yeah, so it's like a Harry Potter film or something.
Yeah, Magic to Win. The porno. A lot of porn action.
Well, I always say cheat to win. But, you can use magic.
All right, man. I love it. What an eclectic box.
I like it. Dude, there's like so many weird ones in here. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, what do you want to watch? I want to watch some action. I'm going to give some Mark Wahlberg.
2 Guns, Straight into Blue is the warmest
And
color.
then you got like, hey, I want to watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and watch it. And then I want to watch a fucking Japanese Harry Potter. And then I want to watch some porn. Hey, that's
Friday night and the feeling. Parties here on the west side. I reach for my 40 and I'll turn it
You're
up.
terrible.
Designated driver, take the keys to my truck.
You were so off. It was like, I didn't know what you were singing.
Play the
It's like, it's Friday night and I feel alright.
Parties here on the west side.
So I reach for my shorty and I turn it up. Designated driver, take the keys to my truck. I feel so faded. Trying to block it out, but the wind don't blade it. I feel so good in my hood tonight.
Under the rides. Forgot about the drive-bys. Alright. I don't know what the fuck is happening right now.
Anyway, by the way, thank you so much, man.
Quarantine unboxings get weird.
I really
you, though.
appreciate it. Man, there's
Thank
some
you.
really cool shit in here. Thank you so much.
Rip it, tear it.
Rip it and grip it.
This one. It's that.
You gotta get itchy as fuck, bro. Fucking insulin. That's great. We both got it.
Oh, we got one of those packages. Oh, you got. Oh, be careful. Oh, hang on. Let me do it. Let's
Let me get something out.
We only need one power hand.
Can't help that I was born with 2.
Oh, we got one of those fucking dirt packages.
That's all back. Could there be like a thing on the package? It's like, hey, filled with fucking asbestos and insulin.
We got
Not insulin.
It's not your fault.
Insulation.
It's one of those UPS boxes that comes with that fucking dirt
Oh man,
shit.
does it say it on there? Like, probably.
Oh, it's a cushion mail.
Oh fucking bitch.
It's a cushion mail. Here you go, Thor.
All right, I'm gonna look at the letter. Okay, there's a letter. Oh. Oh. God. yeah. Fucking this all in my throat. Hi guys, how you been? Doing good, trying to survive. I'm really glad that you like the movie merchandise from Cinemex.
Oh, Juan.
Okay.
I see you.
You tried to hide in your words. We will call you out and make you a turd. I like to collect cups. I think what you're trying to say. I like to collect. It looks like it says Colette. I like to collect cups, and I have from superhero movies like Avengers, Wonder Woman, or Batman vs Superman, for name a few. I love movies, and I have a good collection. The codes are not valid to redeem in Mexico. I prefer to send them to you, so that they don't remain unused and expire. Mike, I found this in a flea market. I hope it's a fucking like camera that when he takes a picture of himself, he dies. Goosebumps. Say cheese and die. Mike, I found this in a flea market in a small store that sells CDs and vinyl records.
I'm excited about that.
I don't have the vinyl player to listen to it, but it's in good condition. I hope that you like this item. I hope it's Purple Rain.
I'm excited.
Wish you all the best. Keep doing the great work in your channel. Sincerely, Juan. P.S. The Hellboy movie code is for the first one, and the code Pet Cemetery is for the remake. Thanks so much, Juan.
Juan sends the best shit. If you guys don't remember, Juan sends all the crazy shit from Cinemex, which is probably closed right now, like all the other movie theaters are. But with the badass fucking popcorn boxes and the cans shit, like we love Juan's unboxings. There, send some good shit.
Well, I did like Juan's unboxing until he didn't get me a vinyl record. So now I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, but can I jerk off to it?
I can jerk off to this.
All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, there's some tinfoil in there.
Oh, you got some goodness.
Oh, some excitement in that.
Open it up.
Oh man, that makes me want to like. Look at that. Lawnmower.
What is it, bitch?
I don't know, but it looks fancy.
You gotta put it in the microwave and heat it up first.
I want to eat some Triscuits. God. Baby, I want some Triscuits, Carl.
I'm gonna get my own nuggets, don't worry about now.
So crispy. Oh. Ah.
You know how to touch his gooch.
I see it already and I know. Oh, dude, this is fucking. Dude. Jay. It's the Lethal Weapon album, dude. For fucking Lethal Weapon. Holy shit, fuck. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Thanks, Juan. I never thought that I needed it so bad.
You get your goddamn hands off her.
I mean, I've got a good-looking Jesus
son
and
of
a
a
black
bitch.
man. But he's black.
My favorite movie of all time. My favorite movie of all time.
Look at the.
Oh shit. My favorite movie of all time, man. Is that the Laserdisc or is that the album? I think that's the album. Stereo, digitally produced. No, it's the Laserdisc.
Holy fuck, dude.
It's the Lethal Weapon Laserdisc, man. Look at that. Oh.
Dude, yeah, I've never seen one. I've actually never seen a Laserdisc like up front, like, you know, like in person. Like that's, look, dude, side B. So you would flip, like side A, so you would like do that,
Yeah.
and then you would flip it over.
Yeah, look how shiny.
I can't wait to get my fucking Laserdisc out and borrow it.
Ooh.
Can you imagine, like, okay, this is badass. This is cool as fuck. Now, if DVDs didn't make the the fucking, like, I Am Zeus, Hear Me Roar, and Blu-rays didn't come after that, would you be okay with this? Like, have movies just...
I honestly think it would be pretty fun. You'd have to have like crates of your movies. You know what I mean?
Dude, Juan smells good. It smells like...
It's so fucking cool, man.
Juan smells like baby
dude,
powder.
I never fucking even thought about owning Lethal Weapon on Laserdisc.
No, but if you imagine, like, if all your movies were like that...
Yeah, I'd be kind of into it. You still got that USPS box on you. You got that shit, dude.
It touched my lips.
But dude, look at Riggs' hair right there. Oh man, that's good hair, Riggs.
Dude, like, I don't know, like, yeah, it's cool. Like, if you had records in your movie collection, you know what I mean, like boxes and boxes, or like shelf full,
Like records.
and you were like, and then you brought a girl and you're like, hey, you ever seen Lethal Weapon? You ever seen Lethal
Dude,
Weapon?
that's so fucking cool. Like, I have it on VHS, I have it on DVD, I have it on Blu-ray. I never thought about
That is
owning
cool.
Lethal Weapon.
Did you see the corner?
Yeah.
It's extended play.
Stereo, digitally processed, extended play. And obviously we don't have a Laserdisc. We'll never actually watch this on Laserdisc. But just to own this in every possible fucking physical formality, that's amazing,
We're
dude.
gonna have to work on that. We're gonna have to get a laser player so we can watch that.
Dude, that's so cool.
I said a laser player, a laser disc player.
That touched my dick shits.
Oh damn! You never want to do that.
I love it.
Dude, that is fucking cool.
That's awesome as fuck, man. Like, goddamn, I didn't even realize this was on Laserdisc. Thank you, Juan. That's
Thank
the
you,
coolest
Juan.
shit
It's
ever.
really cool.
And there's some other shit over
Okay,
there,
we
too.
got some digital codes here.
2 cops. Glover carries a weapon. Gibson is one. He's the only LA cop registered as a lethal weapon.
Mel Gibson, the only registered weapon against Jews.
Don't be sad. Here,
I'm kidding.
have a French fry.
I'm kidding. It's a joke, guys. And by the way, he needs to be forgiven. He was drunk.
He's hugged the cactus long
was
enough,
right.
as Robert Downey said.
We got digital copy Doom Patrol.
That show, dude. Let me tell you guys. Can I tell you guys a secret right now?
No.
Doom Patrol. I got the DC monthly thing, and I thought Doom Patrol is something I can watch with the kids. I turned it on. Within 30 to 50 seconds, Alan Tudyk from
Turds?
Alan Tudyk. He was in Dodgeball. He was in.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
He's got a girl bent over a table, fucking her nasty style. Don't watch it with the kids. But now I can watch
But was
that
it hot?
by myself. Probably. I had to turn it off in a haze.
Okay, so we also got we got Hellboy. I haven't seen the new Hellboy.
That's perfect for you because you like Hellboy. You like the first 2.
You don't like Awesome?
I didn't watch them. So
What?
That's all you, man. Ooh, Brightburn too. That's a good one. Brightburn was a fucking
No, I think it's a Brightburn, your hemorrhoid.
It's fucking good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Ready or Not, a great fucking movie.
amazing movie.
I haven't seen it, Midsommar.
Oh, that's all you do. Midsommar will fuck your anxiety
I don't
up.
think so.
Especially in the time of Corona.
Pet Sematary, a great fucking underrated remake. It was
Yeah.
really well done. Wasn't a fan of the ending. But
I liked the ending.
no.
I liked it.
Suck Lethal Weapon's dick some more. I fucking hate you, Juan. You gave him something.
Did you ever see Ma?
Yeah, dude, I went that we reviewed it.
Oh, I didn't know if you reviewed it too. I thought it was one of those ones I watched alone.
I feel like
So many.
I feel like David Letterman. And then Child's Play.
The Child's Play
Another
remake.
a great
I don't
film.
know that one yet. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. And
Yeah.
Juan is finished. Hey man, you
That's
did
the unboxing.
You know, I always feel bad when you guys send us digital codes. I understand why you sent it because you said it wasn't going to be active in Mexico, but that Lethal Weapon thing, Mike doesn't need to be stroked.
I need that.
Like, don't stroke him.
Please send more.
But hey, it's a really nice gift.
Yeah.
You know that Mike loves Lethal Weapon, so it's really awesome of you to do that. And Juan, this stuff is definitely gonna be put to use. We love all you guys. Thank you for the movies. Thank you for the porn. Thank you for the tickets that are collectible. You really made our night, and our erections are gonna be good for the coronavirus lockdown.
Goddamn yeah.
But honestly, really, in all seriousness, it's a really shitty time for all of us, and we're really having a lot of cabin fever, some of us, and we're all gonna get through it. Everything's gonna be okay, and I'm glad that we're all here together, and we're gonna be okay. And you guys sending this stuff to us and making us a part of your lives like you do, and being included or including us in your daily routine as far as like remembering us and sending this stuff to us. It's fucking beyond humbling. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys to death. We will suck your nipples for sure.
I love it.
If you want to, if you don't, we're not trying to do a Weinstein thing. We'll do it if you ask. But honestly, from the bottom of our hearts and farts, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much, man. You guys make our fucking years with this kind of shit, man. It's so cool. You guys think about us so often. We think about you guys the same way, and this is so fun for us to all unbox together and to go through together.
All right, so what we watched this week? I did make a list this time because I would have forgot. I watched The Rape of Two Corys finally on YouTube.
Oh, you watched the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing.
I just got the results.
Well, I mean, you could bypass. It's not a bad documentary. It's put together well. It definitely name drops to people that you probably already know that were involved. I'm not gonna name them here, but it's a good watch. And as far as if Feldman's telling the truth about what Haim went through. I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna I don't know, but he seems pretty convincing. He's got some, I don't know. He's got some convictions anyway that it seems to point to true. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Hollywood has always been a shit show as far as what they fucking do behind closed doors. They're a nasty fucking pit of assholes. So if that shit came out for real and that was all 100% proven with people, then I'd be I'm not surprised. But it's a good watch. It's a decent watch if you get a chance to. It was just a fucking nightmare when he did that whole fucking streaming thing. And it almost felt very dramatic on purpose.
Yeah.
With the Wolfpack. Watch yourself.
They're hacking us in real time.
Watch yourself. Wolfpack. And then I watched Dawn of the Dead. Finished that, the remake. I had to rewatch it because I didn't get to finish
It's a good one.
Love it. Demon Knight.
Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight?
Yes.
That's a good one, too.
Mr. Hold down, goddamn motherfuckers! All you do is give me the goddamn key. A very underrated performance by Billy Zane, and I wish I knew the guy's name. The Grim Reaper from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, who's the hero in the film.
Will Sadler?
Will Sadler.
Yeah.
Fucking insanely good, and Jada Pinkett Smith is in it as well. Underrated fucking movie, dude. God damn, it's so good. I watched Insidious 3 and Insidious 4. So I had to finish it up. Yeah, it's awful. Like, the last key, the last shit. Like, it's terrible. And I'm scared of those kind of movies. That movie was... No, actually, I liked The Last Key. That's the one... Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, because I get it confused. Insidious 3 was alright. It wasn't great at all. Like, it was the one about the asthmatic fucking ghost that had the fucking... He smoked all the cigarettes. He's like, I like little girls.
Yeah.
I like youngins.
I'm in your suitcase.
Yeah, I hated that. Like, it was like, oh, fuck. And then Insidious 4, though, is where she remembers when she was moved in that house, and the guy, you know, they lived next to...
It's like a prequel.
Yeah, it was good. Again, I think this movie is super underrated. If you haven't got a chance to check it out, you would never expect this, right? I loved it. I fucking really enjoyed it. Unfriended Dark Web.
I like that movie.
Yeah, dude. It's actually really, really underrated, and it's way better than the first movie, which usually never happens.
Yeah.
Like, Unfriended is shit to me. It's not that good of a movie. But Unfriended Dark Web, because it's got more of a realism, it's got more of an anchor to, like, possibility.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary, man. It's got, like, some good twists. And it's not a horror movie. It's a thriller. It's fucking awesome. Watched Rings. Sonic Ring, Onion Rings.
Not good.
Flatliners. Book.
It's a great one. The original, not the fucking remake.
The remake is garbage juice from the fucking hills. But the Flatliners original, Oliver Platt, Kevin Bacon, goddamn Julia Roberts, Kiefer Sutherland, one of the William Baldwin. Incredible, dude. Like, incredible fucking movie with a great idea and a great cast around it. Like, you cannot fucking beat that cast. And then finally, I watched White Noise with Michael Keaton. Mike didn't like it that much. I always liked it a little.
I was just really high when I watched it.
Well, I mean, it's not like it's been a while since I watched White Noise, and I watched it. It's boring as fuck. It's a real super slow burner. Like, I fall in and I can't get up kind of burners, and then they never really get up. Like, it's kind of there. They got the life alert, but it's taking them forever to get here. But it's all right movie. And Michael Keaton is fucking beast in whatever he does. I mean, he really does sell it. And dude, they even got the guy, the psychic guy, or not the psychic guy, but the one that introduced him to EVP is the fucking guy from Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. He was like, flat tire. He's like, oh, it's that guy. But anyway, that's what I watched.
Yeah, man. I didn't watch that much this week. I watched a movie called The Guardian, and it's a 1990 horror movie. Fucking wild movie, dude. William Friedkin, the guy who directed The Exorcist, and there's a little bit of like Exorcist feels in this movie, like freaky fucking shit that will fuck you up. And basically, it's this woman who's a magical tree nymph who likes to take babies to sacrifice them to trees. Oh. And by the end of the movie, dude, she's like fucking floating through the fucking woods at people. It's scary as fuck. When you get to the end of the movie, like, it seriously sent me into a panic
attack. You want to
attack.
ride at Belgium?
It's fucked up, dude.
It sounds like a fucking, like, ride at, like, Amsterdam.
It feels like unlawful entry. It's like a weird, sexy, like, kind of thriller type of thing. But then by the end of it, like, when shit gets weird and she's, like, floating through the fucking woods at people and there's this tree who kills people Evil Dead style, it's a fucked up, wacky-ass movie. All done by the director of The Exorcist, who knows how to make those creepy, in-your-face scares.
I saw you posted a picture of The Guardian. It was on Instagram or Twitter or something, and I was like, that cover looked real fucking familiar.
Dude, the movie fucked with me a little bit. It's actually pretty scary. I honestly really recommend looking up and renting The Guardian. The only other thing I watched in that, honestly, was Castaway with Tom Hanks.
It's amazing.
Yeah, me and Katie did a commentary on it. I was watching it, and dude, it fucked me up so bad because I remember that movie having a happy-ass ending.
No.
But it does not.
No, dude, and I'll tell you what, I remember fucking goddamn hating that bitch. Was it Helen Hunt?
Helen Hunt, yeah.
Fucking hate you. You should have been up in the Twister with fucking Dorothy.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Suck zone.
You goddamn it, is that what you think it did? Yeah, it did, because you fucking suck. No, I got mad at first when I watched the movie, because I was like, yeah, he was gone. I understand. You probably thought he was dead. You had to move on with your life. But come on, man. Like, give him a chance. Hold out faith. Like, maybe, hopefully, he comes back.
What bothered me is she listened to her new husband. He was like, no, you don't need to see him. And she's, like, crying and wanting to go see him. I'm like, yeah, goddamn, the guy, like, looked at you for fucking, like, 4 years on. That's when the movie got sad, dude. It was fine when it, like. And by the way, that movie perpetuated my fear of the ocean at night for forever. Just imagine, dude, be in the middle of the ocean in the dark night, like it's pitch black,
It's amazing.
the middle of the ocean, no land in sight, and there's a storm going on. Scariest fucking possibility in the world.
Well, son!
Nothing scarier than that.
Well, you know,
Fuck.
There's 2 parts I remember in that movie. Like, there's 3 parts actually. I remember when he was fat and he was like dancing. He was like, "I have made fire," and he's dancing around.
That's good.
He looks like a typical Kentucky guy that's just got out of KFC and
Yeah.
he's drunk. But I remember that, and I remember, oh my god, when he took the skate and he popped his fucking tooth out.
Oh, it was gnarly.
Woo-wee!
That was gnarly as fuck.
And then I remember crying. I really did cry when I first watched the movie. At the very, very end of the movie, when he comes back and he's like, you know, she runs to him and they have an embrace and they get in the car, and then she's like, they're driving down the road, and then he's like, "You have to go back home."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Fuck me in the fucking
that shit
butt,
was
dude."
horrible. Where it got me was halfway through when it was all of a sudden they're like 4 years later, because you have this hopeful feel that everything's gonna go okay, but then 4 years pass and it's like, dude, that's 4 years of your life. Like, you had your life and 4 years are gone like that, and like at that point it's almost like a guarantee that no matter what happens next, it's gonna be sad because you lost 4 years of your life. That movie fucked me up too. Like, it's funny because we were doing the commentary. Katie literally started crying during the commentary.
It's hard not to.
It's sad as shit. But the last thing I watched, by the way, for the first time watched for me was Candyman: Farewell to the Flesh. I never watched.
I'm actually working on watching that one.
I-
Son of a bitch.
I did it. You son of a bitch.
I love it's cool though because they go back to the origin.
It's, dude, for most of the movie, it's good. Like, honestly, they do a really good job through most of the movie. They have like the GTA guy on the radio. It's like, now y'all listen here, shit's fucked up. You know, that whole thing. It was done really well for most of the movie, and Tony Todd was badass through the entire movie.
It's always great.
But when the movie ends, and all of us, like at the very end of the movie, they fuck it up. The very end, they finally fuck it up because the hurricane's happening or whatever, and like Candyman rises up, and they do like a virtuosity thing where his skin, like, he breaks apart into a million glass pieces.
Yeah.
And the CGI is so fucking embarrassing.
Well, thanks. I've not seen it yet.
Oh, dude, wait till you get to the last scene.
No, I've seen it, but I mean,
He breaks apart like a fucking lawnmower man in like a million little pieces, and it looks so awful. It's just so piss poor fucking bad. And they did such a good job up to that point with the story. But it's not a terrible sequel.
No, dude, it actually
they shit on it at the end.
yeah, well, I think that sequel is actually, it holds up pretty well.
Yeah,
like I think,
but also
as far
unnecessary.
As far as, well, yeah, technically it is.
What's the point?
Well, because it's Tony Todd and they wanted to continue Candyman.
And then they go more into
because
his
it almost feels like Candyman 1 was so great, but they killed him off. Like, it was over.
Yeah.
And they were like, Tony Todd's too fucking good, man. Like, let's go back and explore this a little bit more.
And they show his origins.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I loved it. Like, I love the fact that you get to see him being, when he was a slave and what happened and these assholes that mistreated him.
Well, dude, that piss poor CD-ROM ending is just bad.
Well, and
Outdated.
don't go past that. Like, Candyman 3 and 4 are fucking garbage.
They do a 4? I didn't even know they did a 4.
No, they didn't. But I know they did a 3, and it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
The only other thing I forgot about this. I don't want to go into too much detail on it because I feel like we should review it.
RedTube.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's going to happen
Unicorn.
tomorrow.
Pornhub.
Yeah. Pornhub, YouTube,
Celebrity
RedTube,
deepfakes.
Tube 8, Lesbian 8.
The
Whatever.
Ocho.
Gay porn 1, whatever you're into. But no, the Dark Side of the Ring, the Chris Benoit documentary that they just released a couple of days ago. So fucking powerful, so well done, so well put together, super fucking sad. Cannot enough explain when you hear the interview segment from David Benoit, the surviving son of Chris, and how he's been handling things and what's been going on in his life since the tragedy that occurred with Chris Benoit. It's incredibly sad and eye-opening, especially because they do explore CTE, which is brain damage after a while because of trauma to the head after concussions.
And that's for free on YouTube right now.
It is, and you should definitely check it out. And the main thing is there's actually a study that show that professional wrestlers are, I don't know, it's a high percentage, are more likely to die before they're 40 years old than professional football players, which is fucking insane because they take massive hits to the head, and it's done really well. They've got interviews with the surviving sister of Chris Benoit. They've got interviews with Chavez Guerrera. They've got interviews with Chris Jericho. They've got interviews with JR from the WWE, former announcer from WWE. They've got interviews with Eddie Guerrero's wife, David Benoit. It's well done. It's well put together. The music is insanely well done, and it will make you feel all those emotions. I remember, I knew who Chris Benoit was back in the day in the late '90s. I was watching WCW when he was up there. He had the Rabbit Wolverine and the Canadian Crippler. Fucking amazing athlete, amazing. And I remember Eddie Guerrero and I remember Chris Jericho, but they were all WCW guys. And when WCW kind of fell, I stopped watching wrestling for a long time. I haven't really watched wrestling in a long time. But when they went to WWE, they made them the stars that they should have been in the WCW. But the problem with the WCW is that they wanted the big muscular giant dudes that were 7 foot with giant muscles. So the high flying kick guys, the ones that were smaller, that were doing the lightweight or cruiserweights, they weren't really interested in them. But they were probably the hardest working athletes they had at the time. Dean Malenko's in it. I forgot about Dean Malenko. And so I kind of lost touch of it. But I do remember when I was a kid. I don't know if I was a kid. I was in college. It was in my mid 20s, early 20s when the Chris Benoit thing happened. It was like 2006 or 2007, and I remembered him from WCW. And I remember all the other stuff. And when the actual details came out about what he fucking did,
it was fucking crazy.
It was insane. And they explore that. They explore how it went down. What happened, why it happened, in a way, but Chris Jericho says it right. He's like, the truth is, we're never really gonna know. I mean, that's just the sad reality of it. Was it steroids? Was it CTE? Was it a combination of the two? Was he just wanting to suicide himself and take his family with him because of Eddie Guerrero's death? You'll never know because you don't get to talk to him. It's so well put together. If you get a chance to, if you have, even if my girlfriend and I watched it, and she's not even a wrestling fan. She doesn't even like wrestling, but it pulled her in.
Yeah,
because it's so well done. Yeah. But it's gonna fuck you up. It's going to fuck. Because I want to give that David kid a fucking hug, dude. I want to hug him and then do one of those fucking thing like, come on, you buddy, let's go get a snow cone down at the Blockbuster. But there is none. But yeah, man, check that out too. And like I said, I don't want to go into too much detail about it because I want you to watch it. Maybe let's review it on next episode.
Yeah, it's on YouTube for free. That's the fucking show, guys.
We're done?
WWAM Video episode 7.
Wow.
This has been so fun and so glad that you guys are with us. And again, all of you guys who are out there right now and you have to go to work and you're essential employees, are especially people who are in the medical field who have to go, and you're saving lives out there and you're really fucking saving everybody right now doing what you're doing. We respect you. We salute you. Thank you guys so much for everything that you're doing. And we love you guys so much. We're all scared right now. Everything fucking sucks. But we're in this together, and let's just try to fucking be positive.
We're going to pull through. Yeah. I promise you on the other end, we're going to you son of a bitch.
We love you. Let's love each other and just be good to each other, man. I'm gonna end this with a fucking quote from a movie I've seen 17 goddamn times this week because my kids are at home. All we have to do is the next right thing. I will fucking end this with a Frozen 2 quote. Suck my dick. I don't
God damn.
Just do the next right thing.
He just put an icicle in your pee-pee hole.
Be good to each other. We love you.
Love you guys. Salute.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.